who have joined us in person and also those who joined us online to the seminar on Managerial Excellence being held today as a prelude to the 22nd MMA Awards for Managerial Excellence. A gentle reminder for all of you to kindly settle down and also keep your mobile phones on silent mode if possible. So, we have 4 presentations in this seminar, as you are all aware, and the 4 categories that awards have been won. To commence the proceedings, I will request President MMA, Mr. Mahalingam, to deliver the welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mahalingam is the President, Madras Management Association, Director, TSM Group of Companies. He is an alumnus of NIT Trichy and IIM Calcutta. Under his leadership, the company diversified into financial services, real estate, and angel investing. There's a lot more to say about him, maybe in the next time. May I now invite Mr. Mahalingam to deliver the welcome address, please.
Thanks, Group Captain Venkatraman. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's indeed my privilege to deliver the welcome address this afternoon during the MMA Seminar on Managerial Excellence for the year 2024. I extend a warm welcome to all dignitaries, invitees, distinguished past presidents, colleagues in the management committee, members of MMA awardees, chairpersons for the various sessions today, panel of jury for the MMA Awards, and members of the media who joined us this afternoon. Thank you again for joining us. We also welcome the viewers watching this seminar live from all over the country and the world. This event is actually the quintessence of the vision of the Madras Management Association. The vision statement is, MMA is the fountainhead of world-class management excellence in India. The learnings and the lessons we're going to hear from the awardees today represent that wisdom. The awardees will be sharing their insights on the process and initiatives they've taken to achieve excellence, which led them to win the 22nd MMA Awards for Managerial Excellence in 2024. Congratulations to each one of them. We eagerly look forward to hearing about their best practices and their stories. Managerial excellence is a commitment by management to a philosophy of excellence. It involves continuously improving every aspect of management and running organization at the highest level. The core idea is to find better ways to collaborate, share knowledge, take responsibility, listen to the others' opinions, and develop solutions that bring maximum benefit, starting with satisfaction of external customers. In this context, MMA is organizing this seminar on Managerial Excellence to provide the necessary wealth of managerial knowledge, expertise, and resources to those who aspire to pursue excellence in the managerial positions and integrate performance parameters into their corporate culture. Once again, thank you, and a very warm welcome to all of you to the 22nd MMA Seminar on Managerial Excellence. I'm sure all of us will benefit immensely from this session and learn a lot as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mahalingam. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now begin the presentations. The first presentation will be from Bimetal Bearings Limited, winner of the Managerial Excellence Award 2024 in the SME category. May I now invite the session chairman, Mr. P. Lango, and Mr. R. Natarajan to take their place on the dais, please. Let's welcome them with a good round of applause. The first presentation of the day. Mr. P. Lango is currently the managing partner of Monk Capital. In his career spanning over 35 years in upstream oil and gas sector, Ilango has held several leadership roles in different areas of business and is a recognized leader in the Indian oil and gas industry. To make a presentation on behalf of Bimetal Bearings Limited, we have Mr. R. Natarajan, the Chief Financial Officer. He is the Associate Member of Chartered Accountants Institute of India and also the Associate Member of Cost and Management Accountants Institute of India. He has over 32 years of industry experience, including 20 years overseas, working across manufacturing, FMCG, tourism, construction, and audit. May I now invite Mr. Ilango to deliver the opening remarks and take the session forward.
Thank you, Group Captain. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor and privilege to share this inaugural session on managerial excellence concerning the SME sector. The award for SME on managerial excellence goes to Bimetal Bearings Limited, a group company of Amalgamation Group. So when you know that the company is from Amalgamation Group, I'm reminded of a very interesting episode that happened. There was a petroleum secretary who's known to me for a long period. He's a very honest, upright officer. Post-retirement, he told me he never invested in the share market except for one company. He said from the day he joined the civil service till he retired, he consistently invested in the group companies of amalgamation only. Never sold them, just continued to invest over 30 years of time. And post-retirement, a honest IAS officer could have a very nice bungalow in Delhi as well as in Goa, where he is settled now. So that's the power of a group and the brand. So it gives me really immense pleasure that BBL has become the winner of this prestigious award. BBL is was established in 1961 in collaboration with Clevite Incorporation USA and Repco Limited Australia. Since inception, it has a strong OEM base serving the entire spectrum of automobile sector from four-wheelers to two-wheelers. Its client list includes the big names like Tata's, Ashok Leyland, Maruti, Suzuki, Mahindra, Hyundai, as well as the railway and defense establishment. BBL is a multi-plant, multi-locational company with state-of-the-art plants located in Chennai, Coimbatore and Hosur. It has a fully integrated manufacturing facilities right from raw material to fully value-added products. So when we look at the MSME sector in India, it roughly contributes to about 29% of the Indian GDP, about 50% of export, and about 1/3 of the manufacturing output. So it's an important segment of economy which employs close to 10 crore people. And I understand it has more than 8,000 diverse products to offer. Now, specifically in Tamil Nadu, there are about 50 lakh MSME units, and to emerge as a winner out of the 50 lakh as a winner is a really a rare honor. And as you are all, I am also keen to listen to the success story behind this achievement. So may I invite Mr. Narendran, the Chief Finance Officer of Bimetal Bearings Limited, to share his presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon to everybody. Thank you, Mr. Ilongovan, for the nice introduction on bimetal bearings. Before, let me give an introduction of the bimetal bearings. The flow of presentation will be the introduction about the company products, best practices, which is the main theme of this presentation, and statutory compliances. Bimetal Bearings is established in the year 1961. It's a public listed company listed with Bombay Stock Exchange. It's a member of Amalgamation Group, and the original collaborators are Clevite Inc. USA and Repco. And between 2000 to 2010, the intellectual property and technology transfer agreement with Daido Metal Japan took place. The purpose of this collaboration and agreement enabled Bimetal for the technology upgradation and new raw material development, which make our product highly indigenous and as an import substitution. And BBL Daido is a joint venture company established in 2002, and it is operating from Chennai, and the joint venture is with Japan, Daido Japan. The basic management philosophy which led to the success is mainly on the OEM, strong presence in OEM as a group business strategy. And we are the main suppliers for Tata's, Ashok Leyland, Mahindra, Cummins, and Simpsons. And contemporary with the material and manufacturing technologies, end-to-end, the process is happening in Bimetal, which we'll be taking through the coming screens. And the global linkages, as pointed out, both in terms of technology collaboration and as well as the export business with various countries like USA, Middle East, and UK and Europe. And Bimetal is also engaged in machine building and mainly making SPMs, special purpose machines, oriented for bearing manufacturing. And more importantly, we have a separate research and development department based in Coimbatore to take care of the product development and material developments. These are the major milestones of Bimetal. As mentioned in the earlier screens, 1961 Clevite USA collaboration and Repco Australia, and 1995 MIBA. It's a transfer line technology mainly used in bushing manufacture at our Hosur plant, and Daido Metal Technology Agreement, and 2002 is the joint venture association with BBL Daido Private Limited. These are the products manufactured in Bimetal: bearings, bushings, thrust washers, bimetallic strips. Bimetallic strip is the raw material used for manufacture of bearings and bushings, and Conrad Bush and alloy powders and metal powders are being manufactured in Bimetal. We have two facilities, one in Chennai and also in Hosur, for manufacture of alloy powders and metal powders. And the volume of bushings and bearings manufacture on a monthly basis about 15 lakh pieces, in all the locations put together. And these are the various locations which we operate. One is Chennai, where we manufacture the strips and alloy powders and metal powders, bearing plant and bushing plant at Hosur, research and development approved by DSIR, Department of Scientific Industrial Research at Coimbatore, and engineering product division. It's a machine building division. We name it as engineering project for the manufacture of customized machineries and SPMs. This is a mention about the capacities. Even though the company at present operates at about 250 crores, the capacity in place will take us for another 60 to 70%. There is adequate capacity available in all the locations, which is mentioned here for metal powders, copper, aluminum and alloy cladded strips. This is the bearing plant at Coimbatore. We manufacture aluminum-based products in Coimbatore and engineering project division is also there in Coimbatore, where the machine fabrication and other activities take place. Our major facility is at Hosur, where both the bearing and bushing operations take place, and they are there. The bearings and bushings, each item wise has been mentioned in this slide, and electroplating facility is also available there. This is a thrust washer plant, again in Hosur. This gas automation is a recent development in Bimetal Bearings. Gas automation plant started its commercial operation in 2020. This is for the manufacture of alloy and metal powder for bearing and sintered components. That is a special feature of this, and this plant operation is going on right now at Hosur. This is the R&D. We have R&D facility at Coimbatore, which facilitates product designing, product development, validation, and material development. The main advantage of having R&D division in Bimetal is we develop our own raw material, which is indigenous as against to substitute the import. The core strengths of Bimetal. This is what enables us to avoid wastages and as well to optimize costs. One is integrating the operations right from the virgin raw material to the end product. Basically, our basic raw materials are steel, copper, tin, and aluminium. With that, we manufacture strips at Chennai Symbium plant, and from there, the bearings and bushings are manufactured at Hosur. So, end-to-end facility and the operational facility is available within Bimetal Bearings. And the capacities, as mentioned in the earlier screens, are adequate, and transfer line technology is a unique, customized for Bimetal for the manufacture of bearings, and access to manufacturing system of performance enhancement. Basically, we have got the facilities to enhance our performance, and it's an ongoing process, like various schemes have been put in place to ensure that the performance and efficiency level is kept at optimum or more than that. These are the quality certifications of Bimetal, IATF, ISO, and the company has now commenced its TQN implementation, which we are hopeful of completing by 25-26. The best business practices. Value stream mapping. The main purpose of this is identify the activities and elimination of non-value-added activities. This enables us to speed up the process and also optimize the cost. And just-in-time is the next one, wherein the inventory levels are maintained at optimum and the inventory carrying cost and storage cost is being reduced. As an ongoing process, Kaizen and 5S methodology has been put in place in all the locations, which facilitates continuous process improvement and also organizing workspaces and hygiene. And more importantly, as mentioned, the volume of manufacture in terms of quantity is about 15 to 17 lakhs per month. Machinery maintenance and plant maintenance assumes a lot of importance. We focus on preventive maintenance to ensure that there is no breakdown. As we emphasize on just-in-time stock, our customers do insist on that, like major customers like Ashok Leyland and Tata Motors, they don't unnecessarily lock up material. So, which forces us, rather I should use that word, to have our sale depot at various locations, be it Pune, Gurgaon, we have the depot, the supplies are made on the need basis. So, we have to make sure our machineries are kept intact and its running condition. So, preventive maintenance is given more importance. And last but not the least, human resource management assumes a lot of very importance, and there is a continuous motivation program, orientation, training programs have been undertaken both internally as well as the external agencies. The challenges we face while implementing this, or trying to implement this best practices is the cultural shift in various locations, and more importantly, the employee resistance to change. With the technology change and implementation of, say, any IT-based, there used to be some resistance, which we motivate the employees, we give them training ongoing, and even external trainings have been given periodically to ensure that they feel secured and the organizational culture shift takes place. And management is giving a tremendous support. What we have achieved could not have been possible without the management support. Management had faith in operating, top management had faith in the operating management, and they gave adequate support to ensure that all these things have been put in place. Technical knowledge, both in terms of operations, even in, say, software like ERP and other things, have been adequately, knowledge has been imparted to all the levels. All the departments have been accordingly instructed to train the employees, and there is always a succession plan put in place. This is more important to ensure that these best practices are continued for a long time. And waste is again basically operational activity which has been, there is a monitoring on all the process waste and also any additional wastages to ensure that those wastages are appropriate. Customer focus. As mentioned, most of the customers, our OEM customers, are MNCs and other companies. The demand expectations are very high, so we have to meet those requirements. So we have to make sure that all these things are put in place, which we have been continuously following. And in addition to that, we have to mention that it is not only our presence is there in OEM, we are present in replacement market as well. And replacement market, we have our distributor channel, dealer channel, which is working constantly to ensure that the supplies and other things are taking place in time. And our export focus is on US and Europe and Middle East. This is a statutory compliance, which I can broadly classify into three categories. One is on the audit, and the other one is on the compliance, basically with respect to secretarial, and the third one is on the information technology general controls. On statutory audit, I would like to mention that our statutory auditors are Fraser and Ross. They are the auditors. Prior to this, for the last 5 decades, our auditors are Pricewaterhouse. And on rotation, Fraser and Ross has come in, and being a listed company, the limited reviews are mandatory, and as well audit is there. And now, with the latest requirements of MCA and ICA guidance, the requirement on ITGC is very stringent, with the audit trail and other requirements to be put in place. And all the compliance requirement to SEBI and ROC is fully complied with. More importantly, we have health and safety audit being conducted periodically at all the plants. On the labor and labor regulations, we have got a group industrial relation department to guide us and advise us and review on all the activities being undertaken. And the business performance, I would request not to go by 1920, 2021 numbers, because even 21, 22, because there is Corona period. Even prior to that, we had touched a turnover of 208. Last 2 years, we are in the range of 230, 235 crores. And we are hopeful that it should increase by another 30-40% in the coming years. And we have got adequate capacity and also the demand to be put in place. May I take this opportunity to introduce my team, our operation head, Mr. Ravi Chandran, Vice President Marketing, Mr. David Joseph, our R&D head, Mr. Krishnamurthy. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for a very, very crisp but wonderful presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have time for 1 or 2 questions in case someone has a question. Keep it short so that we can have the mic. 1 second, sir. Let the mic. People watching online also. Just keep it very quick. That's all.
Predictive maintenance program, sir. Yes. Not preventive, predictive.
Predictive.
I give you a point, but predictive maintenance, no, we don't have.
Yeah, please.
So predictive maintenance, we don't have in place right now, which we can but we have in-house maintenance team. Most of the maintenance activities are being carried out inside. And we do have a machine building, which most of the machines are SPMs and customized. So the situation has not arisen so far. We take care of preventive maintenance and ensure that there is no major breakdown to hamper the production. Right?
Right, I think there are no questions here. Is there any concluding remarks?
Thank you for an excellent presentation. I think the big takeaway is continuous focus on quality. Continuous focus on quality ensures that you never cut corners, and that's what you have done. Consistently growing and ensuring your customers, which are very, very demanding customers, their quality parameters are met. I see a bright future for this sector as the sector transits towards EV. Companies which have the ability to pivot to that would have a very, very bright future. Thank you for the excellent
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to the chairman, Mr. Ilango, and Mr. Natarajan for a very, very insightful presentation about your company, sir. May I request Mr. Ilango to present a memento to Mr. Natarajan on behalf of MMA, please. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll move on to the next category, which is a very, very important category, the educational institutions category. We have the presentation from Sairam Institute of Management Studies, Sri Sairam Engineering College, the winner of Managerial Excellence Award 2024 under the educational institution category. May I now invite the session chairperson, Ms. Nalini Padmanabhan, and Dr. Dinesh Raja from the Sairam Institute to come and make a presentation, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Naresh Raj and Ms. Nalini Padmanabhan. Just a brief intro about the chairperson and the guest speaker. Ms. Nalini Padmanabhan is Director, Canara Bank, fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, an independent director at Indradhanush Gas Grid Limited. She has served earlier as an independent director in NLC India Limited, NLC Tamil Nadu Power Limited, and also on the Chennai board of the State Bank of India. She has many more achievements, but given the time, then we have the presentation which will be made by Mr. Naresh Raja, who is the Chief Information Officer at Sairam Group of Institutions. He is also the Managing Director at Sri Sairam Techno Incubator Foundation. His focus is on upskilling faculty and students, introducing innovative teaching methods. He actively engages with companies, collecting problem statements and encouraging students and faculty members to provide innovative solutions. May I now invite Ms. Nalini Padmanabhan to make the opening remarks and take the session forward.
Good evening. I thank MMA to invite me to chair this very important session, and Sairam Engineering College is well known for their excellent educational qualities, and I congratulate you for your achieving this award, sir. Thank you. It's my privilege to chair this session to introduce you the winner of the MMA Award for Managerial Excellence under Educational Category, Sairam Engineering College. A big round of applause, please. This award celebrates those individuals or organizations who have made outstanding contributions in the field of education, shaping the future of our society through their innovative ideas, tireless efforts, and unwavering commitment to learning. Sri Sairam Institution was established in the year 1995. The institution is affiliated to AICTE and developed into a top-notch engineering institution and secured NBA accreditation to all eligible disciplines of engineering management and accreditation by NAC in A+ with 337 CGPA for 5 years. Till date, more than 19,000 students have successfully graduated from the institute, and Sairam alumni are very well positioned in over 100 countries across the globe. To provide holistic education, the institution has established industry-powered centers of excellence, laboratories, Sairam Techno Incubator Foundation, Startup and Entrepreneurship Initiative. In a span of 27 years, the institution has bagged 1,447 university ranks, including 41 gold medals. Sri Leo Muthu Scholarship has been launched as a great initiative for aspiring meritorious students from the economically weaker section of society. I'm eagerly awaiting, sir, to listen to their success story, which has enabled them to achieve this coveted MMA award. Now, I kindly request Mr. Naresh from Sairam Engineering College to share his presentation with us. Please, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. First, I'd like to thank MMA for recognizing us, and small acknowledgement makes a big difference for the people who are performing. First, I'd like to thank the jury and the entire team for making this recognition for Sairam Engineering College and group of institutions. I welcome everyone, all the dignitaries and the CEO of Tata Steel and President from Zetwerk and the other winners of today's event. My congratulations to you. First, I'd like to thank our chairman and CEO, a very humble person who has been the backbone of our institution and who has been very supportive. And it's not a single person's achievement. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and everyone who has contributed for this award, from the principal to HODs, all the faculties and our students. Saying that, I'm moving to my presentation. Yeah, so 25 years back we have set a motto, and I'm proud to say it is still the same, and it is very much relevant till today. We build a better nation through quality education. So our chairman used to say we are in a nation building process. We are not just an institution, but we are in the process of nation building. And we believe we can evaluate. I saw the previous presentation, sir. It was a wonderful presentation from you. But we can't estimate ourselves with the sales values and the targets, but we will have more of an impact related metrics. So what society impacts we have made, and what kind of skill matrix which we have made impact in our students will be that throughout my presentation. So our founder chairman, MJF Line Leomuthu, a great visionary, a person who has led us and made a very high benchmark set throughout the institution. And he is a person who has made us realize where we are and what is the passion about education and other things. And our current chairman and CEO, Dr. Sai Prakash Leomuthu, who is a very energetic and passionate person, who always evaluate ourselves with what kind of society impact we have made and what kind of give back attitude that we have implanted in the students. And the mantra we have is we need to have 3 metrics which is completed when a student is graduated. Not merely by giving a graduation certificate. A student who is leaving our campus has to either be an higher studies aspirant or an entrepreneur or an employee. So we evaluate our graduation in that way. So that has been taught and followed up from our legacy leaders. So we are a group of institutions who have around 20 institutions with us, from engineering colleges to schools. We have a diversified institutions among us. Yeah. So these are few accreditations and the journey which we have had. I think there is a little bit of delay in the presentation, sorry. Yeah. So we have been accredited by NBA, NAC, and we have around 14 postgraduates courses, and in Sairam Engineering College alone, we have around 5,370 students and 386 faculties. As a group, I think we would have more than 27,000 students. So these are all few tie-ups and centers which we have. So these are the courses which is offered in our campus. So this is the exponential growth which we have faced from 1995. We started with an intake of 180 students. This academic year, we have an intake of 1,992 students this academic year. So luckily this is the year of vision which we have set, Vision 2025 by our chairman. So any institution to grow, we need these 3 things to be aligned. One is the people. So we had a change management plan called Sairam Praise, where the change is now disruptive and there is a lot of adaptation which has to be required. So a systematic way to follow how to handle the change and how to adapt yourself. We have implemented RAISE to inspire people and EOMS, Education Organization Management System, to have and process which defines anyone who is entering our campus or any new addition to our campus to understand and fall in line in the process to make sure the same standard is maintained, and definitely everything needs a purpose to move around. So, in all our institutions from 2019, we have embedded the curriculum with sustainable development goals which is given by the United Nations. So I am proud to say Sairam is the only campus which has the entire sustainable development goals which has been embedded inside an experiential learning. So any student in Sairam who is doing a project or who is doing a publication will have an attachment with sustainable development goal. So this is a vision which is given by our current chairman and CEO, Dr. Cifi Technologies, and what we are going to see is the outcomes through this vision, whichever we have implemented. So as I told you, RACE is for the people, UMS is for the process, and SDG is the purpose what we have. So making this process and these kind of inspirational activity, we have defined KPI. I think everyone here, we know what is KPI, Key Performance Index. But now our chairman and CEO, we used to insist these words. KPI is just not an indicator anymore. We need to keep people informed, we need to keep people involved, and we need to keep people inspired. So for that, KPI is required, not only just a metric to evaluate what they have done, but to make them do what they want to do. So that is a kind of attitude which we are following to inspire the faculties and students to move forward. So doing that, we had a success ratio where we did a psychometric survey, where Sairam has got an award with Bimetal survey. Bimetal is a psychometric survey which we take for our faculties for the satisfaction index, where we were categorized and awarded in 7 major categories by the surveying company. It's entirely anonymous, and we got the Employees Choice of Workplace award, and this shows the outcome where our employees are happy and they are pretty much energetic. I'd like to add a quick point in this. We have lost only one award, that is good health, and we need to progress on that. Immediately, our chairman, what he did is, we have made an implementation of regular health checkup and giving health drinks for the faculties. So that kind of even small detail is monitored and taken care by our chairman. So EOMS, we are the, one of the first institution to get 21001. So one of the ISO certificate, BIS certified 21001, which is exclusive for education, educational institution. Sairam is the first institution to get it from BIS. And QS Gauge, we are diamond rating. So I'll just run through a few because these are all the ranking and ratings. Outcome-based Education Excellence Award. We have recently got autonomous, and we are NAC A+. We are NBA accredited. Most of our eligible departments are NBA accredited. Consistently, we are in 200 ranks in NARF. NARF rank is given only for the top 200 ranks in India. So consistently, our institution is ranked among them. And as I've told you about the SDG implementation, by Times India, we have been ranked in various goals that sustainable development goals achievement has been made by the institution. And we are the second in and we got the National Sustainability Award. And this is something which I wanted to insist in my presentation. We have developed an innovation ecosystem after becoming autonomous. So we used to have this discussion about this institution industry gap. So that has been a topic which we have discussed quite a lot. But we try to mitigate that and reduce that as much as possible. What we have done that is, in engineering campus, generally a student works on a student project in his final year. But in a Sairam campus, a student works on a project or a product from the first year. So from the first year, a student is being immersed inside a village or inside MSMEs to go and identify a problem statement. So 4 years down the line in this journey in engineering, I'm proud to say every student will develop a product before moving out of this campus. So we make sure every student goes through an entrepreneurial journey. We have set a high benchmark of 1 student, 1 startup. I know that is not possible, But we are doing that for every student to go through this entrepreneurial journey, where he becomes a better employee or a better higher study aspirant. He at least learns one tech which is very deep, and he's developed a product out of it, which develops his confidence. So this we have made it in our autonomous batch. 2 batches have passed out. I'm proud to say we have got a lot of products and publications out of this. I'll show you that towards my presentation. So these are the few events, and we are doing boot camp. So all the soft skills are also absorbed by the students through this process, because marketing is a skill, and communication is a skill, and design thinking, all the progresses is being nurtured in this process. So to strengthen this, we have made an industry institute partnership cell, where we have tied up with multiple institutions and industries. We have signed up with UTB in Malaysia. We have signed up with other universities, Virtusa, IBM, NIT, National Institute of Technology, because nowadays it's not possible to mentor a student, because the whole tech is very much diversified. It's not practically possible for one faculty or one person to teach all the technology. So we are trying to have our own competence map, and also to reach out to external mentors wherever it is required when students need guidance. So this is a signing with HCL. L&T we have signed, and we are signed with L&T EduTech to learn the technology which is recently implemented in education. And this is one great success story which we have. We have implemented Defense Innovation Challenge in our campus. So the defense is now opening doors to come and indigenize projects which is possible for in our own country, because we are becoming very dependent, and they want to reduce the number of imports which is happening in defense. So they are giving problem statements, and our students and faculties represent the problem statements. If it is qualified in the High Commission, we will get a grant, and we can produce and build for the nation. I'm proud to say SIRAM is building 2 components for, as a student and faculty projects. We are working for a battery management system in a submarine, and a gyroscope for a tanker which is done in our own campus, and it will be soon commissioned in the Indian Army. So this is a photograph which has been taken with the Rashtramantri, and these are all the industrial tie-ups, and we encourage faculties to go for industrial training also, so that teachers need to know more better about what they are teaching and what is the current case scenario. So we encourage faculties going for industrial training. So these are a few research facilities which we have got. Anna University has recently declared us as an institutional research center, and there is a few data about our publication and the exponential growth in the publication and patterns. You can see it in the chart. And I'm proud to say our IPR cell in charge, Dr. G. Putlibai Madam, has got WIPO award, Women Intellectual Property Rights Award. She was the only woman who has been represented by the nation. So I'm proud to say she is the IPR cell candidate who is in our campus. And this is the total amount of grants which we have got in the last academic year. It is around 4 crores of fund has been got. So I'll just give it a second, because I think the slide, there is a little bit of delay in the slide. Yeah. So this is from various organization. As I told you, one is from Defense, from AICTE, from DST. We have got multiple awards. The list of awards which we have got is shown in the presentation. And from 2023 to 2020 to 2023, we have exponentially grown from seed grant. Our chairman is kind enough, and he has given seed grants for the initial startups and for the students who have good projects. So we are now more than 40 lakhs of grant is being given to all our students. So these are the list of projects which we have done. So we also use. I got confused with the text, so I am changing something, but I'm not getting the display. Okay, great. So I just got that sorted. So I'll have to when we are moving it, right? So this is the seed grant which is given from the management for the student and faculty projects. Next. So to strengthen the system. Okay, to strengthen the system, because as I've told you, not everything can be taught in the classroom now. ChatGPT and AI, ML, things evolving very fast around us. For students to get an idea about what is the new tech, we are emphasizing students and faculties to move into different learning platforms. So this is our infrastructure which has been made for these kind of learning. We have a dedicated building which is created only for hands-on training and only for startup and incubation. So this is an entire infrastructure which is made for this facility. And we have a Section 8 company which is an incubation center inside our own campus. I have around 89 startups who are with us and around 10 startups have graduated. So we have a lot of success stories and because startup is, when I started discussing with students 5 years back, there is not much of excitement or willingness to come into entrepreneurial journey. But now I feel there is a shift in the mentality, but there is a lot of people who are coming forward and a lot of students who are migrating. I think we will slowly move from the difficulties which we are having in recessions and other thing, and we will be self-sustained very soon with the awesome minds which we have. So this is an incubation center which we have inside this own campus. So we have students, faculties and external incubators who are a part of this incubation center. We have classrooms with smart boards which can enhance learning, and NPTEL is a portal which is given for self-learning. We are rated AAA in the category. So these are all the NPTEL stars who have achieved learning through the portal. So this is the scenario which I have told. We have around 89 startups and so another one to enhance yourself. IEEE is a forum which we join hands with and to know the current case scenarios and to identify domain-based competency and to learn more and to identify what is happening. We have IEEE. We have all the 39 societies in our campus, and these are the societies which is available. So if a student or faculty wants to explore more about new tech or new learning, they could enroll to this society and get new insights. And this is the outcome of what we have done. We have got so many funds in dollars from IEEE, from rural electrification to clean water and sanitation. We have got projects and we have implemented it in the nearby villages. We have adopted 10 villages around our campus through Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So all these tech transfer, we are doing it from the campuses to the villages and the nearby schools. So this is one such project where we have made a student project with in collaboration with IEEE site, where a solar power plant has been installed inside. Solar power plant is installed in a school, and 4 of the classrooms will get uninterrupted power through this solar energy. So these are a few awards and recognition which we have got from our progresses. So these are all the international conferences which we have done in our campus. And now we are going to the outcomes. So doing all these progresses, we saw the faculty and institution outcome. We are going to see the students outcome through the progress. Smart India Hackathon is the government's giving problem statement from different domains. And we won 7 prizes in first prizes around this country. So I think our students have done a great job by giving solutions to the government, and it has been implemented through these hackathons. So nowadays, the hackathon kind of recruitment and hackathon kind of problem resolving is becoming more. But through our process of SIRAM innovation ecosystem, we have projects which is readily available. So when there is a competition or when there is an hackathon, we don't have to go and search for the projects. It is readily available. We are just connecting the dots and getting the outcome placed here. So these are all, we concentrate in the sports activities also. These are the sports activities which has been conducted in the campus. So these are the placements. So as I told you, we standardize students through 3 processes. Either they'll have to get placed, or they'll have to move to higher studies, or they'll have to move to an entrepreneurship journey. So we are in the progress of 23-24. Already 778 students have been placed, and we are counting the numbers and moving forward. These are few students who are placed in higher packages. And our founder chairman initiated a scholarship program where we started giving free education for a minimum number of students who are good in academics but who don't have an viable background or an economically supportive environment. So every year we are sponsoring students, and so this is a scholarship based on metric, and this is the amount which has been spent for scholarship in the following years from 2018 to 2024. The minimum of 2 crores of fund is being spent every year in free education for students in all our campuses. So we use NGOs like Matram, Agaram and Anandam to identify the real, so even if you have some candidates who are, it might be your neighbor or it might be your employee or driver who is in need of education. And if they have a good mark on an academical record, they can apply through these foundations, and we identified students will be taken care by our own institution. And it has been, so this record is very preliminary, but we have been doing it from 2000, from our founder chairman's period. So PhD fellowship, we are encouraging them with a 25,000 stipend. So these are all the clubs which is available. So to enhance students' growth, so not only through academics, but other ventures also. So NCC and NSS activities. So I'm just moving forward. So these are all the women empowerment program which we have done through Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. As I told you, we have adopted 10 villages around the campus. To empower women, we have done a couple of events to make them more sustainable and move forward. And this is one of the startup which we wanted to showcase here. She's a faculty from Sairam Engineering College, Tanuja Madam. She has made a waste management proposal inside the same campus, and it is going to be multi-folded as a business very soon. The flower waste from our own temple has been converted into essence, and it is being sold. So she is now in turn mentoring 20-30 women candidates to empower and to start up this business. And last but not the least, our proud alumni, I think, he's a man of inspiration who has inspired the entire campus in the last academic year. Dr. Veera Muthuvel, he's a phenomenal person, and I'd like to make an humble gesture and recognize what he has done. Government has given him around, if I'm correct, 20 to 25 lakhs of fund for what achievement he has made. He has divided that amount and he has contributed that back to the institutions which he has studied from, and we have got that funding also. So I think people like him are very rare, and he needs to be celebrated. So we have called him to our campus, and we had a small celebration as an alumni, and it was a wonderful moment. And he has inspired many students to I'm happy that there was a lot of students who are progressing for GATE also, GATE exam after SIRS. Visit. So these are all few. So he's one of such alumni, but we have a lot of gems who are with us, who are still supporting us. I'd like to thank each and every one of the alumni who are still supporting us with that. Saying that, I'd like to thank everyone for that humble listening. And again, I'd like to thank our founder, our chairman and CEO. So he has humbly taken the back seat. So he's here with us. So I'd like to thank the CEO sir, principal sir, and the entire team of people. So he's the one, driving force who always inspires us and who always motivates us. So once again, with the blessings of our founder chairman, I'd like to close my speech with his words. சொல்ற வார்த்தையை நான் இங்க சொல்ல ஆசைப்படுறேன். முயன்றால் முடியாதது எதுவும் இல்லை அப்படின்னு அவர் சொன்னது உண்டு. ஸோ அதை மறுபடி நாங்கள் ஃபாலோ பண்ணிட்டு we make sure that every student tries and he tries to achieve his dreams through the progress. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Naresh. A very inspiring presentation indeed. Time for maybe one question we will take if there is somebody from the audience who wants to know something. Right, so we'll go ahead. You have what samples? Okay.
This is Shivkumar Ballan. I'm also a professor of practice of SRM University. The first thing you mentioned about Veera Muthuvel, amazing thing you showed. We were very honored to give him a doctorate from SRM University. Coming to the question, today's, though being a brand consultant from the industry, in the academics, what the challenge I see is that the way the technology is changing every day, what about the syllabus which we are having after some time becomes redundant or, it goes out of thing. In that aspect, you being now it's an autonomous college, what initiatives you are seeing that you are, you are with the matching to the industry standards? You are doing any means revision of the syllabus, or is it that we stick to some of the things which I come to know is still, maybe for 20 years, it's never changed. Maybe the basics might not change, but what the industry requires changes a lot. But there is a lot of gap in that. For that, do you have any initiatives so that students can help?
Sure, sir. So that's why I've mentioned a lot of things about NPTEL and IEEE. Because the way that things are changing, before we change the syllabus, they are going to repeat and change the technology. So that kind of rapid change is happening now. But we need to make sure the students are understanding the basics. But we shouldn't make them stop that is a milestone they want to reach. So that's why we are giving this kind of experiential learning, where we are giving real-time problem statements to the students, where the self-learning evolves from there. So when they want to resolve a problem, they are trying to know more about how to resolve the problem, and they intend to learn a lot. So I think that is the right way to move forward, because the way the things are rapidly changing, I don't think it is practically possible to keep changing the syllabus accordingly. But we can make minor changes when and where it is required in the fundamentals. But we'll have to not restrict them with only the syllabus which we have. The world is big, and the cross-discipline is growing every day. So we'll have to make sure we spread their wings so they can fly for the entire sky. We can't restrict them saying you can be in this own cage of your department. So I think that would have answered your question. And engaging them more with these kind of societies and communities like IEEE, they engage on their own pace and they learn according to their own skill matrix. I think that would be a better way of moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Naresh. Very elaborate but a very, very pointed answer. May I request Ms. Nalini Padmanabhan to say a few words to conclude the session, please.
Excellent presentation, sir, and hearty congratulations to you and your team and your chairman who is here, who is guiding you all very well in this big journey of making the younger generation this thing. And two takeaways, sir. முனைந்தால் முடியாதது எதுவும் இல்லைங்கிறது ரொம்ப பெரிய விஷயம். And I also endorse it, and that is one thing to success. And secondly, your 3 P's, that is people plus purpose and process, or process plus purpose is equal to success, is a big takeaway. And I thank all of you for making this a great success. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, they deserve a big round of applause. A fantastic session, a lot of takeaways for all of us. May I request Ms. Nalini Padmanabhan to present a memento to Mr. Naresh Raj for that wonderful presentation that he made on behalf of Sairop Group of Institutions. So, ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we are going to the next category, that is the manufacturing category. We have a presentation from TVS Motor Company, winner of the Managerial Excellence Award for the year 2024 in the manufacturing sector category. To make the presentation and to lead us through the session, may I now invite the session chairman, Mr. Surya Prakash, and Mr. Gopala Desikan to take their place on the dais, please. Let's welcome them with a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Surya Prakash is the Executive Director, Ponpyu Chemicals India Private Limited. He is a second generation entrepreneur, an alumnus of BITS Pilani, and Executive Director who transformed Ponpyu Chemicals Group one of the largest chemical manufacturing and distribution firm in India to a global company with an annual turnover of over 4,000 crores. It has currently more than 1,000 employees. And Mr. Gopala Deshikan, a small intro about him, is the CFO of TVS Motors. He has been with the TVS Group for over the last 35 years and handled various functions, including the group's international business and long-range planning and strategic initiatives. He is a chartered accountant and holds an MBA from UK. May I now invite Mr. Surya Prakash to deliver the opening remarks and take the session forward, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am delighted to share this unique seminar with you all this afternoon, where we showcase outstanding achievements of the winner of the prestigious MMA Award for Managerial Excellence. Today, we are here to recognize and celebrate the remarkable accomplishment of TVS Motor Company, the winner of MMA Award for the Managerial Excellence in the manufacturing category. We all know TVS Motor Company is a reputed two-wheeler and a three-wheeler manufacturer globally, championing the progress through sustainable mobility with 4 state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities in Hosur, Mysore, Nalagra in India, and Karawang in Indonesia. Its endeavors to deliver the most superior customer experience across 80 countries which it operates. And the company has 100 years of legacy of trust, value, and service, and makes internationally aspirational products of highest quality through innovative and sustainable processes. It is only two-wheeler company to have received the prestigious Deming Prize and its products in their respective category in the JD, Power IQS, and Appeal surveys. It has been ranked number 1 company in the JD Power Customer Service Satisfaction Survey for 4 consecutive years. I am eagerly awaiting to listen to their success story, which has enabled them to achieve this coveted MMA award. Now I kindly request Mr. Gopala Desikan, the Group CFO, TVS Motor Company, to share his presentation with us. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon. It's always a nice experience to be here. Last year I was here for an inaugural session on an international taxes. And the feedback which we received after that was extremely encouraging. Thanks to MMA for that. We're extremely thankful to you for selecting us for this category of award. I'm all the more happy that I'm going to speak after a very insightful presentation about an educational institution. We very strongly believe in the organization. Education, training, continuous learning are extremely important. I can very authoritatively say this, being in the group for the last 35 years, we all of us have grown only because of that. Every activity is a learning for us, and we always strongly believe if anything goes wrong, we take it in the very right spirit and the corrective permanent actions are put in place. A lot of tools helped us to come to this stage. That's why I have requested my colleagues from the factory, since the presentation has to be more effective, the operating people should speak about what we are doing in the factory, in the manufacturing level, what new changes we have brought in, what has really made us to come to this stage. That's the reason why I have requested them to be here. To start with, let me give an overall overview of the company. The contents of the presentation is going to be an introduction about the group. TVS Motor belongs to a 100-year-old group. In 1911, this was started. In 1961, we started our manufacturing operations at Padi in Chennai. In 1980, we brought out the first TVS 50. Even today, we are selling TVS 50 close to 50,000 numbers. This was first vehicle brought out in 1980. In 2001, we had in between relationship with Suzuki that got terminated in 2001. In 2002, we won the prestigious Deming Award. In fact, most of the speech, what I wanted to say, you have covered in your speech, whatever awards we have won, whatever we have achieved in the past. So there may be a repetition to that extent. 2006, we established our first overseas plant in Indonesia. We underwent a lot of difficulties. It was our chairman who strongly believed, supported us, that we have gone there with a purpose. Don't worry about the initial pains, initial challenges. Today we are making profits there. The parent is not supporting today. They are on their own. We are exporting to many countries out of Indonesia. Indonesia is a very, very good example and a successful story for us. Despite a lot of challenges, many advisors, I also represent the investors' relationship. A lot of people used to advise us that about Indonesia is not the right place. But our chairman supported us, and today we are doing extremely well through our Indonesian plant. Then we added one more vehicle in 2008. We came out with a three-wheeler, the first three-wheeler in 2008. Then, next slide please. 2010, we launched our TVS Credit Services, the NBFC arm of the group. One of the most important enablers for a two-wheeler business is retail finance. In fact, in 2007-8, 70% of the people were using the retail finance option to buy a vehicle. It came down as low as 35 to 36% in 2009-10 when some of the banks withdrew this facility. Now we are back. In fact, this company was started as a captive unit for funding the TVS vehicles initially, but now we are lending to everything. We are into tractors, trucks, used cars, consumer durables. Recently started a gold loan, doing extremely well. I think we have a book size of around 27,000 crores today. In 2012, the recent addition to the family is a real estate piece in the brand TVS Emerald. We have started in Chennai, now we have gone to Bangalore. Well received, and we continue to maintain whatever we have learned in the quality related issues in our housing business also. 2013 is a strong relationship with BMW, more than 10 years. Initially, we started more like a contract manufacturer. They gave the design, we just manufactured to their requirements. Today, we are designing, we are developing, and we are delivering for BMW. It's a very, very good relationship with BMW. Then in 2020, we bought the iconic brand in UK, Norton. We just bought only the brand. Otherwise, it's a greenfield project where we have invested in all facilities, and high-end vehicles are expected very soon from that plant. In 21 and 22, we bought few companies in Europe, all into the electric bicycle companies, because electric cycles are the growing market in Europe, and we wanted to be present in that market. Therefore, we invested in few companies in 21 and 22. In 23, we have a relationship with Emil Frey for the European markets as a distributor. This is our growth journey over a period of these years. Go to the next slide. Again, one of the largest two-wheeler and three-wheeler companies, top 5 in the world today. Best in class product portfolio. We have a complete product portfolio today, right from a moped, from an entry vehicle to a high-end motorcycles and the three-wheeler. So the company has got a complete product portfolio. We have the state of art of manufacturing facilities is what already informed. We have one in Mysore, one in Hosur, one in Alagar. also in UK now with Norton, of course in Indonesia. The capacity is there, world-class R&D facilities, because disproportionately our resources and time are spent on EV space. I was also speaking to Sir about the initiatives, what we are doing. We are spending most of our time and the resources on the electric side today. Extensive sales network. We have close to 4,000 touch points today with 1,000 main dealers and 3,000 plus sub-dealers. We are ranked number 1, of course, that has been said, for JD Power for continuously for the quality related issues for last 5 years. It's a very powerful vision we have to transform the quality of life of people across the world by providing mobility solutions that are exciting, responsible, sustainable, and safe. Based on this, we have drawn our mission statements. Go to the next one. This we have discussed. Skip this, please. We are exporting to more than 80 countries. In fact, when I joined, when in between, when we exported our first vehicle, we celebrated. When we crossed 1,000 numbers, we celebrated. Today, every month we are selling close to 1 lakh numbers, predominantly to African countries. We are also, thank you so much. We are also present in LATAM today. ASEAN market is always a great market. And with the new acquisitions, we have a huge opportunity to get into the developed market, particularly the Europe side. Next. This I have discussed, we have a complete product portfolio, right from a moped to a three-wheeler, and present in all the categories of motorcycle segment today. And the whole industry is, today, I can explain it in a very simple manner. It is equally divided between urban and rural. I can say 50% of the market is in urban, 50% is in the rural. That is why when I was talking about electric vehicle, we strongly feel that the penetration of electric vehicle will initially be more in the urban side, more into the scooter side, and then penetrate into the rural side. And ICE and EV vehicle will coexist for some more time, particularly for the export markets where the Indian exporters are or have a decent presence, particularly in the African countries. The changeover to electric will take a little longer time, and therefore the ICE and the EV will coexist. The EV penetration will happen. It's the first in the urban side, more into the scooter, and later on to the rural side is what we believe. iQube is the first electric vehicle, and we have sold 2 lakh. We have very happy 2 lakh customers in our iQube electric space. Next. Of course, our very strong relationship is BMW. Thanks to our Chairman Emeritus, his guidance and support, and thanks to Mr. Sudarshan Venu, our Managing Director, we have today present, it's more a global company today, no longer what was originally perceived when I joined in 87, 88 as a South-based company. We are present everywhere today. When I was in Colombia a few months back, really excited to see our Apache vehicles in the road. If you go to Peru, you can see a lot of our three-wheelers. So thanks to the guidance of our CE and the aggression speed, without compromising on the quality systems of our MD, today I can proudly say that we are present everywhere. Next. Racing is our DNA. You can skip this. Norton explained is an iconic brand which we bought in UK. These are few electric companies, bicycle companies bought in Europe. Some of the strategic investments we have made in the infotech, in the fintech, all these investments we have made in the recent past. Close to 80% of our energy requirements are met through renewable sources. In fact, I was talking to him about our Senior Services Trust, which we'll be covering it in one slide. We have a CSR arm, which we do a lot of work. I think a lot of activity, he has been presenting here also. Okay, next. About the group companies, I have discussed about credit services. We have more than 25,000 crores of asset size, and we are in all forms of lending. Emerald Estate, we have completed 16 projects with 2.9 million square foot already delivered. Close to 6 million is under development. Digital space, I haven't explained this. Next. Now I leave it to my colleague to take. What is the next slide? Go to the next presentation. This is what I was talking about, the Senior Services Trust, where 2,500 villages are benefited out of this. We have a huge team headed by a retired IAS officer. Really a dedicated work under Chairman Emeritus spends a lot of time on this. Next. TVS Way and TVS Production System. I'll just touch upon one slide and I'll leave it to my colleague to take over. These are the three important pieces: the values, the trust, the speed and agility, exactness, customer orientation. In fact, if you see the journey of TVS, which you will see in the later part of the presentation about the financials, we were not making huge profits in the initial years. Our focus was fundamentally to give a quality vehicle to the customer. We are extremely conscious that customer is very, very important. In fact, when we started our first export, we exported what was manufactured in India. Then we started learning that's not their expectation, that's not their liking. Now, for every country-specific vehicles are manufactured. Even in India, I can tell you, each state is like a country. For example, if you go to West Bengal, they don't like black color. You can't sell a black color vehicle. They like only red colors. If you come to Kerala, they don't like red at all. You can't sell a red vehicle. They like only black colors. So the customer understanding is extremely important. Always ensure that the customer likes your product. And one of the reasons fundamentally, with the guidance of our CE and MD, we have taken certain things which are fundamentally right. For example, we don't generally get into a discounting of our prices, vehicles. It is disruptive. Two reasons. One, I'm cheating a customer who bought my vehicle a few days back and discounting it today. I'm not doing justice to my customer. Second, it's not good for the brand also. When you're creating a brand, always brand gets a value based on the resale value at some point of time. And every customer in India, why in India, everywhere, when they buy a vehicle, they consider so many things. It's not that just this. In the past, we used to go to a shop, see a color, this color is good, buy a vehicle. It's not the case today. They evaluate from various angles, including what I will get after 4 years when I sell this vehicle to upgrade to the next level. All these considerations are there while buying a vehicle. Therefore, the first thing, we don't discount our vehicles. Second, during peak COVID, we took a very important decision. Earlier, we were extending credit to the dealers. So more, what I want to sell, I can sell. Because he is not bringing money, I am giving a credit. He is going to sell and pay me back. In 2020, we took a very important decision. We said that there is no more credit, it's a cash and carry method. Today, every dealer brings in money. There is a complete pull system. What I sell can be seen in the road today. The stock level, I can very proudly and very authoritatively say, the system stock level for the industry, TVS is the lowest. Whether it is in my dealer shop, whether in my factory, when I produce, I ensure that the product is sold in the market, is used by the customer. That was made possible only because we changed over to the cash and carry method. In fact, there were huge resistance from the sales team. We will lose market, we can't sell. Nothing happened. The pain was for a month. Thereafter, the system adjusted. So therefore, these were some of the decisions which we took, which were long-term sustainable decisions were really helping us in the growth trajectory of TVS. Again, customer I have discussed daily management. Again, he will discuss about how the policies are deployed. Every year before the start of the year, we start the process in November, December itself about the planning process. A lot of cross-functional teams discusses about how the next year's numbers are to be. And in fact, I can again say this, every year when we plan, but for few years, we have almost achieved our plans. Only what are deliverables were agreed, resources are carefully deployed only for that. And he will explain about the whole process about, you have a slide on that? Yeah, very good. I think I have to leave it to him because more substance will be there when he speaks. Yes, Kamal. Kamal Raj is an operations guy.
Thank you, sir. So I'll explain on the management process which we follow in our company, mainly on the policy deployment and the daily management.
Skip few slides.
Yeah. So this is our policy planning process. It starts with the vision mission as an input and LRP as an input to the annual goals, which gets inputs from the environmental scan, both in terms of external and the internal factors. These annual goals are then deployed to the director and CEO's annual policy, which in turn are deployed to the clusters. So this is our X matrix, which we use for deployment of targets from the director and CEO's objectives. We get into departmental objectives, which are in turn deployed into the policy measures.
Sorry,
So
one
this
second.
shows the
1 second. It's a very important slide. Go to the previous one. See, what we do is first we agree upon the overall guidelines. Then the objectives are derived from those guidelines, and the departmental level deployment happens based on the policy measures. And every department will have this X matrix, which is applicable to them. We strongly believe in the concept called MPCP, the managing point and checking point. Every person will have a managing point, and there will be a checking point. The checking point will become the managing point of the next level guy. So it's a very powerful tool through which the entire deployment happens. Sorry, thank you.
Thank you, sir. So this shows the targets deployment from the, yeah. So now I'll explain about the business processes. I will dwell more on the production system. So we have a TVS production system, which is a culmination of learnings from various initiatives and benchmarking towards effective and efficient performance of the manufacturing business across location and countries in a standardized way. So this is our TVS way framework, where we focus more on the daily work management and total employee involvement, which acts as a base. Capable process, pull system and waste elimination are the pillars to achieve the highest level of customer satisfaction. So now I'll speak about the manufacturing excellence, mostly touching on total employee involvement, synchronous production, digitalization and sustainability. So this shows the supply chain overview in our TVS Motor Company, starting from suppliers till the warehouses, manufacturing plants and plant warehouses in between. So as our group CFO has touched upon, our complex portfolio comprising almost 19 products with 570 SKUs specific to each and every customers in each and every region with varying engine capacity, as well as the manufacturing processes within the plant, as well as on the suppliers, and the supply chain with varying demand, which is resulting in a bullwhip effect. So this is achieved through a total employee involvement. So this is the model we use for total employee involvement, which shows various levels of employees in the organization and their share of responsibilities towards retainment, improvement and breakthrough projects. TIAN or QCC are for workman category employees, SIT and CFT for executives and managers, and task force for the full-time projects which run in our company. This shows the total employee involvement contribution from the employee, which is put to TIAN participation. We maintain 100% TIAN participation from all the employees, starting from the year 2020-21 2004-5, and now we are achieving 100% participation from all our employees within first month of the financial year. Also, our tie-in per employee per year has been consistently increasing. We have now touched 41% qualitative tie-ins, which mainly focuses on quality improvement and cost reduction activities.
Sorry, once again, it's a very powerful thing for us, because every employee who is in the factory, who is in the machine, he will give a suggestion. This is an improvement which we can do. That were those improvement points or suggestions were really implementable. He's on the ground. He is suggesting that if you do this, you can improve the productivity. So every employee gives a suggestion. In fact, we have, when you, in the earlier slides, he was talking about the policy deployment. There are two things which we strongly believe. One, identify the projects for cost reduction. That's only based on that we arrive at the final numbers. There can always be emergencies, uncertainties where you cannot really plan. We also run parallelly a profit improvement plan, which is not factored into the budget process, but they were helpful for meeting any emergency situations. Those are derived only because of the involvement of employees through their suggestions.
So with individuals and teams are rewarded and recognized during our director and CEO's walkarounds, monthly address, quarterly celebrations, and annual TA conventions, as well as on the Founders Day events. Best teams also participate in external conventions, both in the national and international levels, QCC convention and international QCC conventions. Similar to QCC and TIAN, we also have rewards and recognition for SIT and CFT teams, which are led by executives and managers in the company. This award is also felicitated by our director and CEO during quarterly management reviews. Now I'll touch upon the synchronous production system in our manufacturing process. This is our TVS production system, which helps in achieving the synchronous production in the manufacturing process. The foundation lies in performing a through neck analysis to identify the bottleneck areas which have to be focused in the manufacturing areas. So this is the approach we follow for, small lot production and production evenness, emphasizing on creating flexible lines, developing multifunctional experts, and establishing level production. This is one sample improvement done in our manufacturing process in the three-wheeler painting line, where color change loss is eliminated through quick cleaner setup with air purge between the color change. This resulted in eliminating the color change and also improving our OLE in the painting process. Now I'll speak about the digitalization activities. So we have connected all our equipments mainly using the RFID sensors and RFID tags within our factories. And on further leveraging the digitalization platform, we have developed 158 dashboards for various equipments and subsystems across the plant by our plant maintenance team. With this, we could able to monitor close to 6,000 plus parameters of machine elements, thereby eliminating losses. The next is on sustainability. This is our sustainability journey, starting from the year 1996 when we started the Srinivasan Services Test till 2022 when we launched our electric vehicle in the two-wheeler space. This slide shows the results achieved to sustainability initiatives on green and clean energy. Towards clean energy and carbon neutrality, we have extensively leveraged the renewable energy, mainly wind, solar and hydro, resulted in 93% renewable energy during 2023-24. So TVS Greening Minds is a nature conservation and education program, aims to create awareness among the community through the school students. So now I will speak about the people process in our company. So our main focus is on key talent strategy towards building business leadership pipeline to lead TVS growth and transformation in domestic and international markets, as well as create general manager talent to grow in line with the business growth, as well as developing expertise in critical areas such as EV, software, and connected services. Our talent approach is based on 3 key pillars, mainly focusing on TVS way of working, where we focus on building cultural capability. The second is on functional competency, where we build technical competency across the organization. The third is on leadership development, where we build leadership capabilities and identify talent pool. As a part of career development, we have sponsored 400 young engineers so far in this journey, partnering with top international and Indian universities. These are some of the accolades TVS have received in the diversity and inclusion space. I welcome our CFO to summarize the business results.
In fact, one important thing which in the presentation it skipped, we have a very good forest inside the factory that came in all the papers quite recently also. Particularly in November and December. You have a video? Do we have 5-10 minutes extra? You can see the video. No, we'll see. Is it okay? Okay, let me finish the results. You can see that it's worth seeing. Next slide. This is the performance and the revenue. We were at 1621 in 2000. We are at 32,000 crores. And the numbers are quite encouraging this year also. This is on the turnover side. Next slide, please. Profit in 2000 we were just 120 crores. I was in the factory. I worked in the factory for 10 years in between, though I have been in the TVS for 35 plus years. In the factory, I was there between 2010. 31 crores was the profit in 8-9. And today, with God's grace, we are at 2,700 plus crores today. And the share price, of course, it's a reflection of performance and the belief. We are 1 lakh plus crore today on the market capitalization. Next. This please skip. This is again the family members' Kaizen activity. Whatever we do inside the factory, the family members do the same at their house. Whether it's energy conservation, safety, education, waste elimination. In fact, we always have a Founders Day every year, and the family members come and present what they have done in that year and what savings they have done. So they take that. In fact, our chairman will spend more time there just to understand what they have done, what sort of guidance can be given there. So it's a very important initiative. It makes inclusive. The entire family is part of. That's one of the success story for TVS. The families are supporting all of us. So that is, this type of encouragements are given by our CEO on that. Next slide. Okay, these are all the proud moments. We have won various awards. We'll go to this slide. Just not more than 5 minutes. We have taken too much time. It'll be interesting to see.
It is said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And to plant a forest, you must start with a sapling. This is a man-made forest that exists in harmony with an auto manufacturing facility. It would be hard to imagine that a few decades ago, this forest was no more than a dust bowl. Desolate, dry land which had no water and very little life. It was in 1979, when the TVS factory was set up in Hosur, that the landscape got a second chance. The founders of TVS believed that the environment, community and people are the delicate, indelible threads that hold the fragile tapestry of life intact. Their principle was simple: we humans must live and coexist in harmony with nature. From then, the TVS vision has been clear, that its factories and businesses had to inspire society to reach this larger goal. In a journey begun before conservation became a mantra for companies globally, a backyard that could have easily become a dump yard for factory scrap was transformed into a sustaining ecosystem teeming with life and plenitude. The commitment of TVS employees and the dedication and grit with which they took up this project has created a rich biosphere at their doorstep. In 1994, when the Hosur plant faced a scarcity of water, a retaining pond or water reserve was created at the northeast end of the property, near the Research and Development Building. Soon, that one pond grew into a network of water bodies that were added to the estate, putting back water into the aquifer and improving the overall hydrology of the region. It didn't stop with water though. In a battle lasting several years, the notorious and invasive Suba Bowl, which covered most of the estate and the local area, was removed, so that the land could be rewilded with native species. TVS consulted conservationists to trace back native and endemic species and planted and nurtured them until nature took over. Water was life-giving, and the trees grew into a forest. It was a matter of time before birds and animals started calling this man-made forest home. Soon it was teeming with indigenous flora and fauna, native species of trees, birds, and reptiles that returned to reclaim their habitat. The reward of the hard work put in by TVS and its employees was witnessed in 2002 by the Chairman Emeritus, Venu Srinivasan, who while visiting the factory noticed painted storks sitting in the trees and wading in the depths of the pond, occasionally pulling out fish. The shy storks had found a new safe haven, and this strengthened his resolve to further the TVS commitment to conservation. Soon, scores of migratory birds made the TVS factory an annual stop on their route, not only staying for a while, but feeling protected enough to roost and give birth to the next generation. While TVS created nesting sites for them, many made their own nests. The true health of a forest is shown through the diversity of trees, the animal and bird life, as well as the different insects and decomposers that play a critical role in the cycle of life through an ecosystem.
Well, you can stop to this. We're taking too much time.
No, not at all, sir. That was a fabulous presentation and a fantastic video. Thank you for that. And I now request the chairman, Mr. Surya Prakash, to hand over a memento to Mr. Desikan. Mr. Desikan and Mr. Amalraj, thank you so much for this splendid presentation that you have made today. May I request you to come forward and... Mr. Amal, please. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a big round of applause. TVS Motors has made all of us proud here. What a success story, operating in 80 countries today and designing for BMW. So they deserve, I think, every round of applause that we give them today. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you. So, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, coming to this last category of the day, last but not the least, which is very, very important, the services sector. So, just give me a minute. So, we have a presentation from Cifi Technologies Limited, winner of the Managerial Excellence Award 2024 in the services sector category. May I invite the session chairperson, Ms. Anju Mary, and Mr. Praveen Krishna to take their place on the dais, please. Ms. Anju Mary is the Director, Industry Affairs, Corporate Communications and Sustainability, Danfoss, India region. She functions as an advisor to the company's top management and drives the industry and public affairs, communications, branding, D&I, human rights, CSR, sustainability related initiatives. She is a member of many committees and councils, including the MMA Managing Committee and CII National Council for Climate Change. To make the presentation this evening, we have from Cifi Technologies, Mr. Praveen Krishna, Head Corporate Communications, who is a seasoned communication professional with over a quarter century of experience. As a hands-on practitioner, he has authored a number of articles from all members of the leadership team, specifically on accounting and corporate governance. In the recent past, he has taken the lead on reporting the sustainability practices within the organization. May I now invite Ms. Anju Mary to make the opening remarks and take the session forward. Ma'am.
Good evening, everybody. They say a leader is one who knows the way, shows the way, and leads the way. Today, it is my great pleasure to introduce the winner of MMA Award for Managerial Excellence 2024 under the Services category. This category recognizes outstanding contributions and achievements in the field of services, which we are all using, where organizations have demonstrated exceptional expertise and excellence. And from amongst the several nominations, Cifi Technologies has emerged as the winner in this category. And today we are here to honor, celebrate, and learn from this leader, who was founded in 1998 and, as you know, is one of the largest ICT service and solution providers in India. In fact, they were one of the very first Indian company to offer internet services to consumers and also to launch India's first data center in 2006. They were also one of the first in India to get listed in NASDAQ 1998. With a strong customer-based presence in over 1,600 cities in India, which includes large enterprises, small and medium businesses, to government agencies. The company also has offices in North America, United Kingdom, and Singapore. Cifi offers a wide range of services in the Indian market, including cloud computing, data centers, networks, and security. So, just like you, I'm also eagerly waiting to listen to their success story, which has enabled them to achieve this coveted MMA award. So now, may I kindly request Mr. Praveen Krishna, Head Corporate Communications, Cifi Technologies Limited, to share Cifi's journey with us and inspire us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just a symbol or a narrative for Cifi. I would like to acknowledge my team sitting here. Could you please stand up, the team? It wouldn't have been possible without these people. And I understand you're well over, please, please, no. Please no. I understand you're well beyond time, so I'll make this crisp as possible. I'll take a slightly different script here. I'm not going to be talking about the company per se. I'm going to be talking about those managerial traits that have got us here. So the correlations that I will be drawing are the managerial excellence traits that we are talking about all this while. Cifi was born in 1995. We started commercial operations in 1998. We were listed on the NASDAQ in 1999. In 2000, we started India's first commercial data center. Okay, so sometimes we sit back with a muffled laugh when others talk about large data centers that they're building. We've done that 20 years back, 25 years back. The lesson here is about how you evolve with time. Okay, we started out with networks. We went on to build data centers. We built out India's first private cloud and managed services on top of it. And then we sat back and said, it's enough of what we are building. The question is now, what do you add value as? So, in the first slide, the one on the left is something that you have all literally grown up with, your first email IDs. I don't know if you recall it, if you had it, but eventually we took this lesson forward and built out our enterprise services. We converted our entire retail internet services into the enterprise services company. Then we added the cloud and managed services, which is the ICT ecosystem. And we said, from here on, it's no more going to be our services. It's the value that we deliver to a customer. So then we put ourselves in the shoes of the customer and said, what are we to the customer? We became the digital transformation partner to the customer. So the first part of our life has all been the services that we build. The second part of our life, or rather the current part of our life, is the benefit that we deliver to the customer. So the shift has been from revolutionizing consumer internet, what services I offered, to becoming a digital transformation partner. We have a saying, or rather our chairman has a saying, it's not important just that you build one service. How do you keep the customer engaged? How do you ensure that he doesn't go out of your ecosystem once he's in it? So then came the question of how do we build captivity for the customer? How do you ensure that once he is in, you can upsell to him and he's going to buy things, but he sees value in what he buys. So we started with the network services, and then we went out and built the data center services, and on top of it, we built the cloud and digital services. Today, this is a parent and two subsidiaries. Okay? But what we did in that instance was that we built out an ecosystem where the customer is captive within our entire the converged ICT ecosystem, as we call it. And then came the question about how relevant are. Sorry. Thank you for the music. So what we did next was we translated what we were building for the customers into the end customer benefit. In slide 1, I talked about digital transformation partner. We were not talking in terms of what we were selling. We are no more talking in terms of what we are selling to the customer. We're talking in terms of being a partner in his journey. So the digital transformation that we are talking about started with a mature network service, trusted hybrid cloud, seamless delivery, and single vendor end-to-end SLA. But in actuality, what were we doing? We were building out, we are invested in the state-of-the-art tools and automation. We have built out an integrated play, and we built a digital services on top of it. That is the benefit that we were translating to them. We have a complaint against our company. We're pretty quiet. We don't really talk out in the media. That's true. We build in silence, and that's largely what has led us to where we are today. We don't shout from the rooftop in terms of what we achieved. We would much rather that the customer endorses what we have done. So that's largely what we have done, building in silence. So I will not read out the evidence there in terms of what we have achieved. Suffice to say that Today, at least 40% of India's economy is running on a Cifi network or data center or cloud or managed services. Some more. This is truncated from an 18-slide presentation. I brought it down to 2, so I'll not keep you from your coffees. Another important thing that Chairman has always driven to is that you need to scale. You need to scale early and quickly. So one reason why I reiterated that we built our first data center in 2000 is exactly that. Nobody knew what a data center is in 2000. Nobody knew what an MPLS line is. Nobody knew what a dark fiber is. We were already in that business. Okay? In fact, people still did not have access to internet properly at that time. We were already in the business of data centers. And our first data center, quite ironically, was sitting on top of a railway station in Vashi. And that's simply because of the business sense that prevailed at that point in time, that the railway stations were the only place with 24/7 power. And that's why it was sitting there. Today, we are 12 data centers strong. And we'll be adding roughly about 250 megawatts in the next couple of years. But long story short, the idea here is that in 25 years, we have built out these data centers, all captive, most of them hyperscale, all built to a certain plan. Some of them are built to a particular client's plan. Otherwise, a mix of retail and hyperscale too. I'll leave you with the evidence of what sustainability we have done, because eventually, no business is going to survive if it's not going to think about how it goes through to the next generation, how it is passed down to the next generation. These are evidences of a single year. We are latecomers to the party of sustainability. I completely understand, but having said that, we chose to make that difference. And as of the last couple of years, we are in the 8th iteration of our integrated report. Our integrated report is being welcomed by multiple forums today because of the way we present it. And it's pretty complex report because we are presenting three different businesses. As of last year, that portfolio has completely expanded. No business is good if you're not going to assume the responsibility for the business, and that's what we have done here. And this story goes back. I took the imagery of Golden Peacock Award in 2014 because probably that's the biggest symbol that people will relate to. But the fact remains that we are listed on the NASDAQ for the last 25 years, and we have not had a single negative opinion about it. Not to this day. No failures of internal controls either. Now, this has got a lot to do with the kind of managerial acumen in the company. And it's only befitting that for a session that is talking about managerial excellence, rather than me sell you my company, I tell you what managerial excellence brought us worthy of this award. Well, this is as much as far as the presentation goes, as far as the traits and managerial traits are concerned. But what has this led to as far as Cifi is concerned? Over the last couple of years, we have kind of had a resolution that has emerged within the organization, and this emerged from clients. And that is that today we are tried, tested, and trusted. And this is not an advertising slogan built within the company. This was built out of what the clients have been telling us. Okay? Like I said, we have moved from being a service provider to being a digital partner. And the three businesses that we talk about today, the granular part of that is now in the form of 8 other businesses. But point is, if we have gone from just 3 businesses to 8 in the span of 25 years, we evolve pretty slowly when it comes to how to break up the business for the clients. But importantly, there has to be very valid reason for building it out like this. So today this is where we stand. We are India's largest converged ICT solutions and services player. I just like to recall quickly our vision statement. And our vision statement, very peculiarly, is a mix of the tangible and intangible. The tangible part is that we are building a world in which our converged ICT ecosystem, which is our services, and our bring it on attitude will be the competitive advantage to a customer. Now, why should any company talk in terms of, in a vision statement, talk about an intangible? That's because Cifi got here largely because we jumped through multiple loops. Okay? That said, I have a word of praise for the teams that came before me. Every time we stand up on our stage and we want to deliver about our company, we realize there are legends before us. So thank you, Sairam and TVS. Those was great presentation. And that was the end of my presentation too. Thank you.
We have time for maybe one or two questions. Does anyone have a question to ask from Cifi? Mr. Praveen Krishna is here. Okay. None? Ma'am, maybe you could give your concluding remarks for this session. No? Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think he has summed it up. Mr. Praveen Krishna, that's India's largest ICT convergence company. We should be proud of them. Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful presentation. Give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And thanks, Mr. Anju, for moderating the session. May I now request Mr. Anju to present a memento to Mr. Praveen Krishna on behalf of MMA. Thank you. We have over 650 participants watching this program live online now, and I'm sure it will increase further when we go on to the next session. With this, we come to the end of this presentations. And now it's for me to invite Group Captain Vijay Kumar, Executive Director, MMA, Presidential Medal Awardee, Visishta Seva Medal, to come and propose the word of thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, big thanks to over 650 people watching this. I'm quite sure you would have really got inspired. Because we firmly believe good is good to only few. We want to go from good to great and great to outstanding. We want to showcase some of the brilliant industries which are there in the state of Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, so that you all learn from what others have done. That's the objective of this presentation. And our sincere thanks to TVS Motors, Mr. Gopal Desikan. I know how busy he is. Very, very difficult to get him. And he came all the way from Hosur. You are traveling. And thanks, Mr. Desikan, for being present here and to share your presentation, which are really, really outstanding, especially your sustainability and the work what you're doing in CVS as an NGO, phenomenal CSR work. Then Bimetal Bearing, Mr. Narendran, thank you so much. Again, great presentation. Cifi Technologies, Cifi is very close to us. Mr. Ramaraju was part of our team earlier. And without Cifi, in fact, Cifi is the one who gave us the first internet connection when we were in OMR Road and we started the thing. And that's a great support to MMA. And they gave the Cifi, gave that internet connect to MMA to do it complimentary. Those days still remember, it's a very, very big expensive thing for us, and we used to get it actually. Thanks, we really sincerely remember your kind gesture at the time. And Sairam Engineering College, what is talk about them? It's one of the outstanding college, and their students come regularly to MMA as a management trainees and do a phenomenal work in a part of student convention, different convention. They do a great job. Thanks for really being here, sharing the presentation. And I also thank our sponsors, TATA Consulting Services, Danfoss, and Deloitte is our consultant for the award. And all the viewers, all the people who are present here. I know 2:30 is a very, very difficult time. You're all there in big number from 3 o'clock onwards. That shows how much you're all interested in learning managerial excellence, and also make MMA proud of you because we are showcasing the managerial excellence. Thanks. Please kindly join us for IT, and we request you to come back by about 5:45, sharp 5:55 we'll start the program. Thanks so much. Bye-bye, and we'll meet you again at 5:45.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope all of you have had your cup of tea and ready for the next. I welcome all the participants who joined us at MMA Management Center and all those who joined us online to the award function of the 22nd MMA Awards for Managerial Excellence and the 68th MMA Annual General Meeting. Once again, the gentle request for those of you, if you have put your mobiles on silent mode, please. We are maybe 5 minutes before, but I think everybody is here, so we'll start the proceedings. May I have the pleasure of inviting the dignitaries to take their place on the dais, led by Mr. Mahalingam, President, Madras Management Association, Mr. Josh Foulger, President, Electronics Zetwerk, Mr. TV Narendran, CEO and Managing Director, TATA Steel, Mr. V. Shankar, Senior Vice President, MMA, Ms. Simran Dhingra from Conrad Audnot Foundation and Group Captain Vijay Kumar, ADMMA. All good things begin with divine blessings. So begin with this event with invocation to seek the blessings of the Almighty, followed by Tamil Thai Varthu. May I request Ms. Padmaja to render the invocation song, and may I request all the guests to rise for the song, please.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय कोटि सूर्य समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा जय हो मूषिकवाहन हे शिवनन्दन प्रथमवन्दन जय हो मूषिकवाहन हे शिवनन्दन प्रथमवन्दन पार्वती तनया सिद्धिविनायका शरणं शरणं विघ्नहरणं हे शिवनन्दन प्रथमवन्दन நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்து கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற இத்திசையும் உடமணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே
Thank you, Ms. Padmaja, for that excellent rendition. As a token of appreciation, may I request Mr. TV Narendran to present a floral bouquet to Ms. Padmaja. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. I think with that divine song, we have started the event quite well. Mr. K. Mahalingam is the President, Madras Management Association and Partner, Director, TSM Group of Companies. A distinguished alumnus from NIT Trichy and IIM Kolkata. Under his leadership, the company diversified into financial services, real estate, and angel investing. May I now call upon Mr. Mahalingam to deliver the welcome address.
Thanks, Group Captain Venkatraman. You gave me an extra award today. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Such a pleasure to see this hall overflowing. Actually, I understand from Group Captain Vijay Kumar, we had to refuse registrations. I told my friend Mr. TV Narendran that he's a rock star appeal and he's pulled the crowd. So, but good to see all of you here, and it's a fantastic evening, a lot of energy. It's indeed my privilege to deliver the welcome address this evening during the MMA Awards Function and 68th AGM. A warm welcome to all the dignitaries, invitees, distinguished past presidents, awardees, and members of MMA who joined us this evening for this very special occasion. I extend a very special welcome to our distinguished chief guest, Mr. TV Narendran, CEO and MD, TATA Steel. And guest of honor, Mr. Josh Foulger, President, Zetwerk. Thank you for accepting our invitation to be with us and address the members of MMA and the invitees. I must share a personal note that I've had the good fortune of inviting my friend Narendran, and he's never said no till now. I'm getting a little worried now. I'm asking one too often, I think. But thanks, Narendran, for taking the trouble, coming all the way and making time in a special schedule, very busy schedule to be here. Really, for all of us, it's a really great honor. And this year has been a rocking year because we had the real honor of hosting the Tata Sons Chairman, Mr. Chandrasekhar, and you within the same year. I think a fantastic year for us, thanks to you. I would also like to take this opportunity to welcome the proud winners of the 22nd MMA Award for Managerial Excellence and special invitees from their respective organizations. The awardees presented excellent insights this afternoon on the process and initiatives they have undertaken to achieve excellence, which led them to win the award. My heartfelt congratulations to each of them. The session was really inspiring just before this session. A warm welcome to Ms. Simran, who has joined us from CAS, New Delhi, our partner in excellence. CAS is a long-standing partner of ours, and we are able to do many of this stuff only thanks to their support and the relationship CAS with us and Group Captain Vijay Kumar. Thank you so much, Simran. Dr. Adrian Hack, Director CAS, has been unable to be with us this evening and since he's away in Germany. As you're aware, MMA has always been at the forefront of promoting sound management knowledge, experience, and ideas across various disciplines. In recognition of excellence in managerial thinking, action, and demonstrable results of companies and institutions, MMA has instituted the Management Excellence Award. Any organization with its corporate or registered office in any of the southern states of India is eligible to participate. The MMA Awards for Managerial Excellence has successfully been held for the last 21 years. This is the 22nd year. And this marks the 22nd year of this prestige event. Mr. T. Kadir, partner at Deloitte, our consultants for MMA Awards for Managerial Excellence, will provide a briefing on the selection process for the year 24. And thanks again, Kadir. Mr. Narendran, just to say, he's also an REC alumni. I am Calcutta as well. The MMA Awards, supported by Tata Consultancy Services, Danfoss Industries, and Deloitte as a consultant, aims to promote sound management knowledge, experience, and ideas in various disciplines. The media partner for the award is the Hindu Business Line. They have also been a constant supporter to us. I am pleased to share that MMA has completed yet another year with great success. As I said, made extra special by Mr. Chandrasekhar and Mr. Narendran, and a host of other wonderful speakers we had this year. It has been a very, very enlightening year for all of us. Has been filled a wide range of events and activities also. I will provide more details during the business session of the AGM. Must mention in this context that all this has been possible thanks to the man of the moment, Group Captain Vijay Kumar and his wonderful team. Stand up, Vijay Kumar. Must say that, I've said this before, I'm saying it again, all of us come and make all the nice speeches, but behind all the nice speeches is this man doing all the hard work. Thanks, Group Captain, you have been a rock. And all of us on the stage will agree on that, and all of the office bearers over the years will agree on that. And many of them are here, past presidents, and here. I will finish with a mention again, thanking Mr. Narendran and Josh. Fortunately for me, both the chief guest and the special guest are good friends of ours. Thanks, Josh, for taking the trouble of doing this. You also never said no, so you can be careful as well. Okay. Once again, I extend a very warm welcome to each of you and every one of you. I can see many friends in the audience, and I'm a little nervous because seeing so many friends is not a good thing. Makes me very aware of myself. Thank you all once again, and wish you have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mahalingam, for setting the tone for the proceedings that are to come this evening. Ms. Simran Dhingra is the head of International Cooperation, Konrad Adenauer Foundation, India Office, New Delhi. And she has traveled all the way from Delhi to be amongst us this evening. Thank you, Ms. Simran. I now call upon Ms. Simran to deliver the felicitation address.
Thank you so much, sir. Esteemed dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, partners, and friends. As we gather here today for the 68th Annual General Meeting of the Madras Management Association, MMA, my heart swells with both pride and gratitude. It has been more than 3 decades that we, the India office of the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, have had the honor and privilege of closely working with one of the stalwart management associations in India. The Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, KAS, a German political foundation, has been active in India with its various programs since 1968, even with its country office being in Chennai for some time. Together with its Indian friends and partners, KAS has become more and more active in promoting values which it feels are closely interlinked with current discourses of society. KAS has found an important partner in the MMA with which it not only shares the belief in the importance of supporting and shaping attitudes suited to changing business needs, but also established very close links on a personal level. Since 1989, MMA has assisted small and medium entrepreneurs in management association, management education and training through its entrepreneurship development cell in cooperation with the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. Over the years, the cooperation has both expanded in content and magnitude. Besides this project, the Madras Management Association has organized multiple events, including this one, and to promote private sector initiatives to sustain growth and employment in South of India. We are grateful for the opportunity to work with such an excellent partner and hope we intensify these collaborations even in the future. MMA has been also an active partner of the JSDP, the Joint Staff Development Program, which is a network, a family to me, a community, first in the history of India, where directors, partners, and KAS together champion developmental initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, trust and ability to frequently bring new impulses, innovative events to the public is one of the key feature, only one of the key feature I would say, that characterizes the MMA KAS friendship. Having said this, I would like to formally congratulate the MMA for the most prestigious awards it has received. This milestone carries with it the weight of countless hours of hard work, relentless pursuit of excellence, and as they rightly say, fountainhead of excellence, and the steadfast commitment to the development that lies at the heart of this mission. The number 68 not only symbolizes the years gone by, but the potential for 68 more years of transformative impact. It serves as a testament to the endurance of adaptability and resilience, echoing the very essence of MMA that bridges the gap between vision and action. My special thanks go to the President, Mr. K. Mahalingam. KAS is honored that this partnership has been going on. Thank you so much, sir. My heartfelt gratitude to the entire MMA team for your kind and unwavering support. Group Captain R. Vijay Kumar, the Executive Director of MMA, has contributed to our strong relationship over the years with strong commitment, and it has become a close and indispensable partner for us. I'm very happy that this partnership has developed so fruitfully. The director of CAS India, Dr. Adrian Haag, couldn't join us today in person, but he sends his virtual greetings. And I would request the MMA team to please play the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, dear group, warm greetings from Konrad Adenauer Foundation in New Delhi. While you are seeing this video, I'm in Berlin, so unfortunately I cannot make it to your event in person. Apologize for that. We will see next time in person. I not only want to thank MMA for their outstanding work, but also for the long-lasting partnership between Margaret Management Association and Konrad Adenauer Foundation. And finally, I want to thank you for your contribution to the Indo-German friendship. Have a great event. All the best. Jai Hind.
This relationship, this friendship between MMA and CAS has been long-standing, and we hope and we wish for a future of collaborative work together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Simran. You said it all, the long-standing relationship between MMA and CAS. Group Captain R. Vijay Kumar, Vishish Seva Medal, is the Executive Director MMA since 2007. He was awarded the medal by President of India for his distinguished service of high order while in the IAF. And under his leadership, MMA has been awarded the Best Management Association for 14 years in a row by the All India Management Association. He is also the editor of the popular monthly digital magazine, The Business Mandate. May I now request him to brief the audience about this special issue.
Thank you, Venkat. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. MMA proud to present the in-house digital magazine for the management fraternity. Business Mandate, it is with great privilege that I served as the editor of Business Mandate for the last 17 consecutive years. While our association is still young, it is immensely gratifying to witness the growth recognition of Business Mandate as an eagerly anticipated business magazine of MMA. The accomplishment is a testament to the hard work and dedication of Team MMA, each member playing a vital role in achieving this milestone. During MMA annual general meeting and the award function today, we are delighted to release a special issue of the digital magazine focusing on managerial excellence. The issue features collection of captivating articles designed to provide valuable insights to our readers. At this momentous occasion, I kindly request the esteemed guest, Mr. Narendran and Mr. Josh, we are honored by your presence. I'm grateful to you for officially releasing the Business Mandate today. Just to explain to you what all about in the current magazine, may I have the AV please? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention. That's a business mandate for you. It's been just delivered to your inbox just now. I am also delighted because I have to do another very, very pleasant job, which I am really delighted to do so. On average, every month, MMA organizes around 20 talks under Leaders Speak and Success Stories, alongside conclaves, conventions focused on specific themes. The wealth of knowledge shared by intellectual achievers, entrepreneurs, government officials, and thought leaders is calculated in digital format, accessible through MMA YouTube and Facebook channels. Over the years, MMA has amassed treasure of trove of over 1,000 talks and lectures, delivering outstanding leaders delivered by in every field of management. With a vision to compile and disseminate these insights, we are delighted to present Volume 1, a collection of 21 meticulously chosen articles from the vast repository of MMA business mandate lecturers, culminating into a book titled Turning Points, Management Lessons from Legends. I am also excited to add that these lectures will be published as a series of compilations, each focusing on different aspects of management, drawn from the wealth of content available with MMA with embedded videos. Maybe this is one of the unique book where you read if you don't feel like you watch the video or just audio. That's this is very, very, very special what we added. I think I have not seen any other books like this in India today. May I now request distinguished chief guest Mr. Narendran and the guest of honor George and other dignitaries step forward and do the honor of launch of MMA publication, Turning Points, Management Lessons from Legends. May I also request my co-editor, Mr. Viswanathan, Mr. Tayub, who designed the cover and the format of the book, and Mr. Prakash, who portrayed outstanding caricature of the beginning of each other chapter, to join me on stage on this momentous occasion. May I have the AV, please?
Thank you, dignitaries, for doing us that honor of releasing the book. I'm sure all of you will get a copy while going back from here today. Mr. Josh Foulger is the president, Electronics Zetwerk. May I have his AV, please?
Zetwerk, a forward-looking leader in the electronics sector, Mr. Foulger is passionate about manufacturing, supply chain, and people. He has immense experience in the IT hardware and consumer electronics space, and he has pioneered the mobile phones manufacturing infrastructure in India. A hands-on leader in boardrooms and factory floors, Mr. Foulger has built and led large, diverse teams in unionized and non-unionized environments in the US, Vietnam, and India. A firm believer in values, vision, and mission orientation, Mr. Foulger holds firm the belief that people-led execution is the recipe for creating sustained impact.
May I now invite Mr. Josh Foulger to deliver the special address, please.
Vanakkam, good evening. It's a pleasure to be the opening act for Mr. Narendran. I'm not from REC. So clearly Mali must really like me to get me on stage. Neither I am from IMC. So I did my time in Coimbatore and Texas. So anyway, but it's definitely a pleasure to be there with Mr. Narendran. We've heard so much about you. And of course, MMA leadership, group captain. It's as always very, very tough to go after his speeches. So now I'm sandwiched between two interesting speeches. So, so thank you for inviting me and thank you for your presence here. I grew up not very far from here. I think a little north of here is where I grew up, in a very educated, modest, middle-class family. And middle class, I think one of my mentors is Mr. Shiv Kumar. You know who is? I am Calcutta. So, and he was my boss in Nokia. He used to tell what is middle class and what does middle class values teach us is hard work, honesty, respect, and openness. And I think that's what I grew up in. My parents sacrificed a lot, and one of the many things they taught us was always to look at the external environment and just be alert and aware. Still be motivated, still be optimistic, but just be aware of that, and rather than being inwardly focused. I think this and many other things led me on a personal journey outside what was Madras at that time, and I'm happy my school, MCC, and MMA still carry Madras in their name, and to study in CIT in Coimbatore. And then I left the country to specialize in robotics in Texas. And I came back to Chennai to start Nokia about 20 years ago. Now, my journey has been very interesting. I've been blessed with a very remarkable both personal and professional journey, which has been full of learning. I joined a robotics startup right out of college with my professor. Then I joined a big company, Nokia, which really showed me the world. And then probably the biggest company in the world, my former employer, the Foxconn Group. And Foxconn taught me scale, and scale, how scale can be done in India. And I've joined now the youngest manufacturing company. We are very happy to even be supporting the mighty Tata Steel. So we are the fastest growing youngest company, and I have a small part in the electronics there, to grow this great opportunity in the electronics manufacturing space, which India is positioned now. Now, many of you know that being externally focused is very important for India at this time, because India is, I think, at the crux of going from a 3.2 trillion economy to 10 trillion. And all of the growth is going to come from, hopefully, people in this room. The Honorable Prime Minister calls it the Viksit Bharat journey. Hopefully by 2047, we'll be a 35 trillion economy. And now one of the tools, and I'm very sure, I looked at the fantastic list of participants and winners in this management excellence. I'm sure I'm going to be preaching to the choir, but I will risk it by asking a question anyway. How many of you in your companies use SWOT? Strength, weaknesses, nobody wants to, opportunities and threats. So it's one of the people says, of course, we've been doing it for a long time, right? Now, SWOT is, again, very internally focused, right? And I think I've tried to do this with my team a few times. By the time you're done with your strength and weaknesses, you're a little tired. Then we need the lunch break, and it'll be vegetarian or non-vegetarian. After that, it'll be a little bit, people will be a little bit relaxed. And then we look at the opportunities and threats, right? So I'm here to just say that the way India is going, the opportunities which India is presented across all categories, and I'm a little bit partial to my category, which is electronic system manufacturing design, ESDM. I want to flip that and say TOES, threats, opportunities, strengths and weaknesses, or weaknesses and strengths. I think this is something which, my upbringing has taught me. I always, even when in my 17 years in Nokia, I always looked at that. And clearly, Nokia is not the old Nokia anymore. There's still Nokia, which is very strong in networks, but it's not the same Nokia. Probably the threats were ignored, back in the day. And I think it's very, very important as we go forward. And I remember in my former employer about 5 years ago, putting this thing up with in my team. Objects in the rearview mirror are closer than they may appear. And yes, our company was overtaken by a phenomenal Indian company at the time in our particular line of business. And so today in India, anybody from the textile space? Okay, thank you. So Bangladesh seems to have gained on India in textiles, right? And so is other countries. So I think we have to be very, very aware. But the opportunity is in front of us. And just to talk about our industry, the electronics ESDM industry is 3 trillion globally today, and it will be 5 by end of the decade. India's ESDM manufacturing today is 100 billion. The market size in India is about 150 billion. And our target is to grow the manufacturing 5x to 500 billion. And so the jobs, everything which comes are going to be very important. But people think that the world is static. The world is not. We have very aggressive countries. We have countries which have their power to reshore things, nearshore options, threats which we never faced in our industries before. So I think it's very, very important that our threats and opportunities are understood better before we start to calibrate our weaknesses and strengths. So something which I would encourage you, and something which we, even in a very young company, for us every day is day one in our company. But even us, it's very easy to get complacent. So look at competition, look at opportunities which are going to take you to world-class levels. You are benchmarked every day on global performance. I don't want to name countries, but I think it's very, very important. In terms of weaknesses, I think we love to write weaknesses, right? I think especially South Indians are a little bit more, judgy about themselves. And we tend to fill up that, the strengths will be little, northern part of India is a little bit different. So anyway, I don't want to go there. I have to travel to Delhi and and so I think one of our weaknesses can be our strength. A lot of companies say that our weakness is our workforce. I think it's our strength. I think all our youngsters, especially Gen Z kids, it doesn't matter the demographic, are all digitally savvy, and I will say most of them are eager, but they're different. They're very different from the crowd here. I can say. I don't want to pick on any friends who don't have hair. I'm also in that roadmap. So gray hair, no hair roadmap. The Gen Z is different. I think we just need to understand how to deal with that and skill them, because they are our asset. They are going to be helping us in the Vikshit Bharat journey. I think in terms of strengths, I just want to say that electronics hardware, a lot of them are centered around the US. And we have, thanks to, people like my friend Suresh Raman here, have built this 4 decades of relationship with the US. Software services. So we have a fantastic connect with the West. I think it's time to turn that to hardware as well. So hopefully you'll allow us some space. You're a generous man, so I'll, and my college senior, Chandra also is a very generous man. So we really think that ESDM in our space, along with all adjacent categories, will be a great export category. Looking at the West and nearshore opportunities like in Middle East and Africa. So all the best in your TOS journey, and my special thanks to MMA and especially Group Captain Vijay Kumar sir for this fantastic opportunity, and let your light shine. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Josh. You've talked about the need to be externally focused. You talked about the opportunities that are lying ahead. Thank you very much for that insightful address. We now come to the most exciting moment of this evening, the presentation of awards. Presentation of awards to the winners of 22nd MMA Awards for the Managerial Excellence 2024 is another highlight this evening, and the process of adjudication was facilitated once again this year by Deloitte, the process consultants for the award. Mr. T. Khatar is the partner Deloitte, and he has over 2 decades of experience in industry and consulting, helping organizations across the sectors of consumer business, industrial products, and automotive. He holds a BE in production engineering from NIT Trichy and MBA from IIM Kolkata. May I now invite Mr. Khatar to brief the audience about the Managerial Excellence Award process.
Good evening to the dignitaries on the dais and the members of MMA, ladies and gentlemen. This year we have got a significant number of nominations across categories, and the most important part is it is the willingness and the interest shown by the members as well as companies which are predominantly based out of southern part of India, and which also shows that the criticality of these awards and how they value them. And I would like to start thanking the distinguished jury. I had chaired by Mr. Swami, and who has helped us in evaluating all the nominations and finalizing the winners. Thank you very much. And to look at the process and the framework, what we have deployed to evaluate all the nominations across manufacturing, services, small and medium enterprise and educational institutions. The focus is on long-term sustenance of the businesses and how they contribute to all the stakeholders. So we primarily looked at about 5 major parameters. One is on the financial performance, where we look at the revenue, profitability, and how they have grown over a period of time. The second one is actually primarily on the customers and market, because in the changing business scenario and economic scenario, it becomes imperative for the companies to be innovative, and therefore how they address their customer segments and how they grow their market both inside India and outside India, it becomes very critical. And with these two in context, the third dimension what we looked at is how their process excellence internally, how they drive some of those excellence measures in their operations, and which also involves their employee diversity, predominantly how they look at bringing people from different backgrounds and what is their policies associated with it, and where they also critically invest for the future growth. The fourth dimension what we looked at across organizations is what is their social responsibility, where they primarily focus on. It's not restricted to CSR, it is also about how they contribute to the society. And the last and most important dimension we looked at is the leadership part actually. So it's not the leadership of the organization, what direction and guidance they provide to their own companies. Apart from that, what is their contribution to the larger industry objectives, and even in defining the policies, working with the government agencies. This is what we have predominantly taken for companies across manufacturing, services, and small and medium enterprises. One important change this year, what we have brought in is when we consider about small and medium enterprises, we looked at the Government of India directive and any company which is having a turnover of less than 250 crore, we have considered them as SMEs. And the fourth one, which is again primarily on institutions, which from the country, developing country like India actually, where human resource is the major asset and where these institutions train the future leaders. We looked at about four major dimensions. One is primarily on the teaching and learning aspect. What is the ratio of teachers and students, and what programs that they are offering, and the success of those programs. We also looked at the research and professional practice, because which brings expertise to the institution and which has been provided to the students who are studying there actually. So we looked at whether they are working, say what is the patterns that the institution has created, and what consultancy projects they have taken, and also the research products which are valuable to the society and the economy. The diversity is the another factor, because again, the focus is on bringing about more than 50% of the population, actually how to bring them into the workforce. Therefore, diversity becomes very critical. It is not only restricted to women, and it is also primarily people coming from different socio-economic backgrounds. The last one is, what is the institution does or invest for the students actually. It's not only restricted to the infrastructure and the curriculum part of it, it is also on other say what we call is extracurricular activities. So with this in context, we have taken a detailed evaluation of all the nominations, and I thank MMA team also, which has helped us to get all relevant data from the companies who nominated themselves, and I again once again thanks for the jury. And we are very Deloitte would like to thank MMA for partnering to be partner to the program for a long period of time. And I wish all the winners success in their future endeavors, and the nominees who would not win this year actually, best of everything in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kadir and Deloitte, for being with us again this year and laying out all the parameters. Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of awards of Managerial Excellence for the year 2024. I now invite Group Captain Vijay Kumar to announce the awards, please.
Thank you, Venkat. MMA has always been a strong advocate of promoting sound management knowledge, experience, and ideas across various disciplines. In our continuous effort to recognize excellence in managerial thinking, action, and tangible outcomes, we are delighted to announce the MMA Award for 2024. This prestigious award is aimed to honor the companies and institutions with their corporate and registered office within the southern states of India. The MMA Award for Managerial Excellence was established in 2002. I think Mr. Swami is here. During whose period it is established, and we have been continually giving without break. Even the COVID time, we gave this award, online award, with the objective of acknowledging the overall managerial excellence rather than focusing solely on a specific area of expertise. We are indeed grateful for the generous support of our sponsors, TATA Consulting Service and Danfoss, and the Deloitte consultant who have played an instrumental role in making this award possible. We also extend to our sincere gratitude to the media partner Hindu Business Line, who enabled us to reach to the most of the companies in the state of South, and the valuable support in promoting the event and recognizing the achievement to the winners. We now request dignitaries Chief Guest Narendran, CEO, Managing Director of TATA Steel, and Josh Foulger, President Electronics and Zetwerk, to step forward and give away the 22nd MMA Award for Managerial Excellence for the year 2024. May I request other dignitaries also join. Over to Venkat.
I'm sure the house is full and there will be a lot of applause as well for each award that I call upon now. The first award that we're calling upon is the Educational Institutions category. May I now invite Chairman and CEO Dr. Sai Prakash Leo Muthu, Sai Ram Institutions, to receive the award. On behalf of Sai Ram Group of Institutions, may I have the AV please. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a big round of applause. The best institution in the educational institution category. We have seen an excellent presentation a while ago as to how and why they have been given this award this year. May I request Mr. Muthu to say a few words on winning this award?
So, thank you, MMA. And this is our second award. We got the first award in 2015. Thanks for the recognition what you have made. And we are in a nation building process, and 2047, India is going to be a great nation, and we all will be contributing for the nation. Thank you, and thank you for inspiring us, sir. Keep inspiring us. Thanks a lot.
Moving on to the SME category, may I now invite Mr. R. Natarajan, CFO, Bimetal Bearings Limited, and Mr. Narendran to come and receive the award on behalf of Bimetal Bearings Limited. The winner in the SME category, may I have the AV please. May I request Mr. Narendran to say a few words?
Like to say something? I thank MMA for this recognition this year. I would like to also thank my team at Bimetal Bearings Limited, who greatly contributed towards the award which I hold in my hands. I am but a representative of all their hard work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next category, that is the services sector. May I now request Mr. Praveen Krishna, Head Corporate Communications, Cifi Technologies, to receive the award on behalf of Cifi Technologies. Mr. Vijay Kumar, please. No, you could come along with Mr. Praveen. Yep. I have the only Mr. Vijay Kumar, thank you for honoring us by receiving this award. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a big round of applause. We heard about the success story of Cifi a while ago. Would you say a few words?
Sincere thanks to MMA and the jury for the recognition. It places additional responsibility on us to carry on our sustainability practices. Proud of all my colleagues who make sustainability part of their DNA in their day-to-day work. And I'm thankful to Praveen Krishna and my team members who are here today, who have been able to present our good practices as part of the integrated report. And thanks MMA once again for this award. Thank you, Narendran, for being here.
I'm now moving on to the manufacturing sector category. May I now invite Mr. Gopal Desikan, CFO, TVS Motors, to receive the award on behalf of TVS Motors. Winners in the manufacturing sector category may have the AB, please. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. TVS Motors makes this present felt in 80 countries today, 80 countries, manufactured from Tamil Nadu. You make us all proud, sir. Thank you so much. Mr. Desikan, would you share a few words on receiving the award?
Good evening. I think I spoke a lot during my session. Thanks to MMA. It's a great recognition. I've been here a few times before for giving some lectures, but it's the greatest honor, more so receiving from people like Mr. Narendran. So the entire credit goes to the guidance and support of our Chairman Emeritus, Mr. Venu Srinivasan, and our MD, Sudarshan Venu. Today we are global only because of their guidance and support. Thanks again.
We'll have a group photo of all the winners. I request Mr. Narayanan, Mr. Vijay Kumar, and Mr. Leo Muthu to please come on to the dais along with the memento, please. One more, sir.
Come in front. You come here.
Let's give them a big round of applause. All the 4 winners on the stage for this year's Managerial Excellence Award. Thank you, dignitaries, for presenting the awards. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. TV Narendran is the CEO and Managing Director, Tata Steel. May I have his AV, please?
CEO and Managing Director, Tata Steel Limited. Mr. Narendran joined Tata Steel in 1988 after completing his management degree from Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta. As the CEO and MD, he has overseen the organic and inorganic growth of Tata Steel over the last few years. Mr. Narendran is currently on the board of Tata Steel Limited and he is the chairman of Tata Steel Europe. He is on the executive board of directors of World Steel Association as the vice chairman. He is currently serving as the vice president of All Indian Management Association. He is a fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering. He is the chairman of the board of governors of XLRI Jamshedpur and IIT Kharagpur, and is also a member of the Council of Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He has served as the president of the Confederation of Indian Industry and Indian Institute of Methods. A Chief scholar, Mr. Narendran is a recipient of Distinguished Alumnus Awards from both NIT Trichy and IIM Calcutta.
May I now invite Mr. Narendran to deliver the valedictory address, please.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Mahalingam, or Mali as I know him as, Captain Vijay Kumar, Mr. Josh, Mr. Khatir, Ms. Simran, Mr. Shankar, all the distinguished guests who are here. I know many past presidents of Madras Management Association are here. Thank you very much for inviting me here. My great privilege to be here. My friend Mali is a very persistent person, as many of you know. He's already started chasing me for a date on the 4th of January when we have an REC alumni meet. He's already told me 5 times in the last 1 hour. So that's how he works. And it's very difficult to say no to him. So I've threatened to block him from my phone for the next 6 months at least. You know, but it's a great privilege and honor. Chennai or Madras has been a part of my life indirectly because I grew up in Coimbatore and studied in Trichy before moving to Calcutta and then on to Jamshedpur. You know, the subject or the theme is on managerial excellence. So I was told you can speak on any topic related to managerial excellence. And so when I thought about it, I said, let me speak on managerial excellence the way I see it or the way I've seen it over the last 36 years of my professional career. So when you reflect on managerial excellence, you know, I think the starting point is your personal experience. As a person, do you pursue excellence? You know, it's to do with the value system that you have. Josh talked about the middle class value system. It's about what you stand for. It's about the dignity with which you treat people. It's about the pursuit of, if not perfection, at least excellence in whatever you do. It may be education, maybe sports, maybe arts, maybe in the hobbies that you pursue, maybe in the relationships that you have, the friendships that you have. How deeply are you engaged in it? And how authentic are you in your engagement in it? All these in some sense reflects on who you are as a person and what you are as a person. And all of us evolve as people. We grow up with the value system that embedded in us from the upbringing that we have. And then we try to preserve it or strengthen it as we go along. And thereafter you get married, you have children or grandchildren, and you also keep learning from those experiences and keep developing yourself based on the value system that all of you together as a family comes in. So to me, that personal excellence journey is something that you go through all your life. It reflects in the authenticity that you are seen with, the credibility that you build, the trust that you build. And all this is very important because that reflects in your workplace, right? In your workplace, the other day, a colleague of mine who teaches in a business school asked me, what would your advice be for students who are joining MBA school on how can they be an excellent MBA student? You know, I said that advice is very clear. You work hard, you do well in your grades and things like that. You can call yourself an excellent MBA student, but does that make you an excellent manager? You will become an excellent manager depending on how you deal with people, how you deal with situations, the judgments that you exercise. And all that depends on the foundations on which you've been built as a person. You know, so to me, personal excellence is a very important part of managerial excellence. And sometimes the hard work that goes behind personal excellence is not seen. I mean, oftentimes you see it in sports. No successful sports person at any level has achieved that without a lot of hard work. And sometimes sports people say that I'm called an overnight success because nobody has seen that 10 or 15 years of hard work that goes behind it, right? So that to me is a very fundamental ingredient of managerial excellence. The second ingredient of managerial excellence for me is professional excellence. And I draw the distinction between personal experience, personal excellence and professional excellence because it's like personal integrity and professional integrity. They're not necessarily the same. Right? Personal integrity may be about the value system that I have. Professional integrity is the way I behave in the workplace. Do I walk the talk? Do I stand by what I say? Do I say something in some meeting to get away with that meeting or with what I want to say there and say something else outside of that meeting? Am I in a hurry to take the credit when it's not due to me? Am I in a hurry to share the blame when I should have taken it? Things like that. So that's about professional integrity. As a person, you may be a very honest person. But as a professional, are you an honest professional? Are you willing to stand up, even if your neck is on the block, to stand up for whatever, you're standing for or whatever your team stands for? So to me, professional excellence is slightly different from personal excellence. One does not guarantee the other, but both are important in your pursuit of managerial excellence. The third part of managerial excellence in my mind is institutional excellence. How do you build excellence in the institutions that you can influence it? I mean, if MMA has won this award as a best management association for 14 years, that's a great example how an institution has built excellence into its DNA, despite it having multiple leaders coming in. There may be some common factors like Captain Vijay Kumar, but fundamentally it's an institution which has consistently been seen as excellent by the All India Management Association. So how do you build institutional excellence? And that to me is one of the biggest challenges for managers in the sphere of influence that we have. Can we build that culture or DNA of excellence? So here I go back to the company I work with, Tata Steel, not for anything else, but I know Tata Steel better than I know any other company. And hence I'll seek your indulgence to give you a couple of examples of critical points in Tata Steel's life where the DNA of excellence was built and rebuilt in the company. The starting point was, of course, when Tata Steel was formed. I don't know how many of you know the story of Tata Steel when it was formed. It was actually the first Atmanirbharta story. When you say you want to be self-sufficient, Tata Steel was actually set up because at that time the founder of the Tata Group, J.N. Tata, felt that any country, because he used to travel extensively and he had seen what the Industrial Revolution was doing to the economies in the West, and he said that any country which needs to be able to stand on its own needs a power industry and a steel industry, and hence Tata Power and Tata Steel were two of the earliest Tata companies he conceived of. The third one he conceived of was because he met Swami Vivekananda on one of his journeys, because those days, unlike now, if you wanted to go to the US or UK, you got onto a ship and spent a few months in that ship and then you reached there, right? It was typically a 6-month journey to get to the US. So on one of those journeys, his fellow passenger was Swami Vivekananda, who was going to Chicago to deliver his famous speech. And they were discussing about how important science is for the advancement of any nation. And hence the thoughts on Indian Institute of Science came up. So the point I'm making is sometimes the founding values also play a very, very important role. So when Tata Steel was conceived of and the founder passed away in 1904 before Tata Steel was made, but he had articulated what he wanted to his son, Dorab Tata, who then built Tata Steel. But there were so many dimensions of it, which even today are relevant, probably more relevant today than it was then. For instance, he said the community is not just another purpose, is not just another stakeholder, but the very purpose of our existence. That resonates today when there's so much of mistrust between society and corporates, right? The other thing he said, because he had seen the Liverpools and Manchesters of the world at that time, they were like big slums because people were coming from the countryside to work in the factories and they had no accommodation, no place to live, and there was chaos in all those places. So he said, when we build a steel plant in India, we shouldn't have that. And hence he got some of the leading thinkers at that time, Sidney and Beatrice Webb, They were the Fabian socialists who set up the London School of Economics and things like that. He got them to India and got them to help plan Jamshedpur, to say that when I build a steel plant, it's not just building a steel plant, I need to build a city or a place where the workers can live with dignity, right? And that was the spirit. And even today, I don't know how many of you have been to Jamshedpur, we try to keep that ethos because the steel plant is in 1800 acres, but we run a township of 15,000 acres because that was part of the founding values of the group. So when you have a powerful purpose, when you have the value system which there is in institutions, then it's easier to pursue excellence all through the life of the institution because a lot of people are attracted by that value system. So over the years, professionals join, people like me join and work our way in the organization, and everyone has an opportunity to go to the top. And in Jamshedpur, if I go and tell someone I worked for 36 years in Tata Steel, they'll ask you which generation. Because there are people who are 5th generation, 6th generation, so that's the story. People feel so emotionally connected to the organization that they want to work for it. And one of my customers once asked me, he was a big entrepreneur who had a big business, used to buy a lot of steel from us. And he said, one of the things I find strange in your company is everyone in your company thinks you're the owner. In my company, I'm the only one who thinks I'm the owner. So, the way you negotiate with me, sometimes it looks like it's your money, but you're all just professionals, But then that's the emotional connect you have with the institution. And it's not just the employees. I mean, we have multi-generational shareholders. I know some of you may be shareholders in Tata Steel. We have 5 million shareholders. And many of them are multi-generational, So when you have a founding value which is strong, which is the purpose is good, then it's easier to build institutional excellence because people join it for the value system, not necessarily for the salary or something else, but for the fact that you seem to be doing it for the right reasons. I'm not for once claiming that Tata Steel is a perfect company and is the epitome of what a good corporate should be. All I'm saying is at least the intentions are right, and over generations there is a responsibility each of us have to make sure that those intentions are not compromised. More recently, I think in the 90s, this was soon after I joined the company, we went through an existential crisis because, as all of us know here, 91 when the Indian economy opened up, a lot of people wrote off Tata Steel simply because we were used to a steel market where the prices were fixed by the government. We only had to be more efficient than SAIL because the prices were fixed based on the costs of SAIL. We didn't have much competition because you needed a license to set up a steel plant. Import duties were more than 100%. So it was a very different era that opened up ahead of us in 91, and people were setting up steel plants closer to customers. We were far away from the customers. So for many reasons, we were written off. We had 80,000 people working for us at that time, making 2 million tons of steel and doing 3 million tons of mining. So that was what Tata Steel was in 91, and then CEO 92, Dr. Irani, decided obviously that it's a matter of survival. The Tata Group itself was really questioning whether Tata Steel will survive. And that was, I would say, another wave of pursuit of excellence that we went through. And while the first part of the journey I've only read about, this part of the journey I experienced because I was already an employee of Tata Steel, a very junior person in Tata Steel, but I could see the change which was being driven in the organization. We all talk of labor laws and how difficult it is to work in India, but in the 90s, Tata Steel reduced its workforce from 80,000 to 40,000 without a strike, right? We were very generous in our packages that we gave to our workers. So every year, 4,000 to 5,000 people left the company. And by the end of the decade, we had come down to about 40,000 people. Dr. Irani at that time realized that we need to learn from the Japanese. TVS is here. Mr. Venu Srinivasan was one of the first proponents of this journey. They went and saw how the Japanese did it. We had a team on TQM of the best and the brightest of Tata Steel at that time in it, working directly with Dr. Irani. He took all the union leaders and showed them steel plants in different parts of the world to show them what productivity is, right? And convince them so that they could convince their members on the importance of this journey. We were a company where the joke was, you wanted steel, you go and sit in front of the sales manager. The most important piece of furniture in his office was a sofa where you sat and waited for your steel allocation. Those were the days. And then you had to change the culture to become more customer oriented, etc. So a lot of these changes happened, and even within the Tata Group, we had a excellence program which was based on the Malcolm Baldrige Award. So it was called the JRD QE Award, and in fact, Mr. Tata said that. He said, because the first company within the Tata Group to win that award was Tata Steel, and Mr. Ratan Tata in that function said it would have been the last company I would have thought would win that award, because he saw what Tata Steel was 10 years earlier. So the point I'm making is large organizations, old organizations, complex organizations, maybe who've been set up with the right founding values, but operated in a different context, can also make a change rather late, because by the time Tata Steel was already 80 years old, right? So it was not a young company, but can make that change. You know, so if you have the right leadership, the right intention, the right communication, the right engagement with all the stakeholders, explaining to them why they need to change and what it means to drive that change, then you can still pursue that excellence journey, and that's where Tata Steel was. By the end of the decade, we became the lowest cost producer of steel in the world. We still are in the top 3 or 4 in the world. We also, later on, for those of you who are familiar, applied for the Deming Prize, the Deming Grand Prize. So we constantly subject ourselves, which we got, and we constantly subject ourselves to these assessments, because you always need to look at a mirror. Otherwise, you will not know, and you need somebody else to show that mirror to you. Sometimes when you look at the mirror yourself, you don't really see the warts or the flaws. But when you have someone come in from outside, and you tell them that what's more important is not the award but the feedback, then they take you seriously, you get your feedback, and that's how you improve. And when you pursue excellence, it's not about benchmarking with other people in the industry, it is about benchmarking with who is the best in that area. And even today we do that. If you have to benchmark maintenance, we look at aviation companies, because their maintenance standards are very different, because you can't have a failure, right? So things like that. So it depends on who you benchmark with. It doesn't depend on which industry you are in. So excellence, obviously, as has been said many times, is not a destination. It's a journey. It's a mindset. You as an individual should have it, whether you're an entrepreneur, a professional, a leader, a manager. As a person, you should have it. As a professional, you should have it. And then you can influence people to pursue excellence as a team, as an organization. It's about consistently walking the talk. It's not about saying all the right things, but doing something else. It's also about constantly looking at the future. I think, again, Josh talked about looking at the future, because, again, organizations like us, who've been around for some time, who've had reasonable success, have a tendency to talk more about the past than the future. This famous academic, Vijay Govindarajan, who said that companies who only talk of the past don't have a future, right? So that's also something we remind ourselves. As much as we are proud of the past, how do we make sure that we spend more time thinking about the future, talking about the future? What are the changes which are going to impact us? Companies like Zetwerk are disrupting the value chain for fabrication, right? So it's an opportunity for us, because we buy a lot of fabricated stuff. It's also sometimes a challenge, because many of our customers, as they consolidate, then it's a very different approach that we need to do to work with them. So constantly looking out for what are those patterns which are emerging, and how do we as organizations anticipate them, plan for them, prepare for them. Even if you're not able to predict all that's going to happen, if you are better prepared for 5 or 6 or 7 of the 10 things which are going to happen, you'll have more time to deal with the balance thing. So managerial excellence is, is easier said than done. It happens when there's a congruence of your personal value system, your professional value system, and the institutional value system. So thank you very much once again for inviting me to give this talk. Thank you.
Gentlemen, yes, kindly agree to take few questions. We got another 5-10 minutes to go. Anybody's question, please be brief. It should be only relevant to Managerial Excellence today, not about the market share.
Yes. Anyone would like to ask a question? Yeah, yes. Please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah. You mentioned wonderfully about the advancement in science for growth of a nation. You spoke Ratan, Tata's discussion with Vivekananda on this particular topic. As of now, it seems that India is lagging again when it comes to likes of China, for example. If you look at it, they get into a lot of scientific papers, US lot of scientific papers, etc. Where you feel India is lagging and how it can come back to the stage?
You know, it works? Yeah. So it's a pretty complex subject, okay? And at the risk of being a bit provocative, but honest, I think when I look at many other countries, in India, the industry, the academia, the government doesn't work closely together as much as they do in many other countries, for whatever reasons. There are pockets of excellence in what the government labs do, the academic institutions do, what corporates do, but somewhere I find that they don't talk to each other enough. That I'm not blaming anyone. I think corporates also need to do a better job of reaching out to academic institutions. Academic institutions need to do a better job of working with corporates. Also, when you look at developing technology, you know, so we call it technology readiness levels, you know. So you have an early stage TRL, which is typically fundamental research, which can happen well in academic institutions. But you have a path in between, which is typically TRL 4 to 6, which is called the valley of death. That's where everything dies. Because the academic institution has done something, corporates want something which is at 6 or 7, which is ready to be scaled up. So unless this bridge is built well, you know. Yeah, so you need incubation kind of environment, somebody to handhold, or you need, like for instance, in many countries, the governments fund, they either set up the institutions or they fund that part. You know, if the corporate puts in 10, the government puts in 20 or 30, you know, things like that. So you need to weave that in, otherwise you're leaving it to chance. Something may go through this, but most things don't happen. Secondly, I feel our education system, unfortunately, is more focused on the exams that we write. You know, and I feel it doesn't as yet encourage thinking in a very basic way. You know, it's more about doing well in the exam, and that is not necessarily something which helps independent thinking. I'm being a bit judgmental and provocative, but I've seen education systems. My own daughter has studied in different systems, so I'm a bit familiar with it. I feel we need to encourage more innovation. I think the new education policy is trying to address that.
That's true. If you look at it, we have educated people, but not the knowledgeable people, isn't it? Industry is suffering because they don't get adequate knowledgeable people.
So, can we? Yes. Is there anyone else who can ask?
Which comes first? Vision versus mission.
So, 1 second. He's got the mic. Maybe we'll just come.
Can I ask?
Yeah, Mr. Please go ahead. Please keep it brief, sir, and you can either ask to Mr. Josh or Mr.
Good evening, sir. My name is.
Sir, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, good evening, sir. I am Sudhakar. I run a startup company, which is SS Daughters and Company. Which is most important, vision versus mission?
Very difficult question, honestly. You know, I see, firstly, to me, it should be something which inspires, something which is relevant. Okay? Most people, if you ask them in companies, at least if you ask the younger people in companies, what is your vision statement, mission statement, it may be plastered all over the walls. They don't have a clue. Okay, that's a reality. So we, as leadership, sometimes spend a lot of time creating the stuff, but unless you translate that into what it means in your daily lives, I think it's just a nice thing to hang on the wall, right? So I think what's more important is to walk the talk. If you say, I mean, for instance, the TATA Steel vision is, I want to be the global industry benchmark for value creation and corporate citizenship. Okay, now then you have to define what does value creation mean to somebody working on the shop floor. What does corporate citizenship mean to somebody out there? If you're able to do that, then they will be able to tell you what I've told you. Otherwise, only the top 20 people will be able to tell you what the vision is. So I think it's not what is more important, it is how you translate it into the daily lives of the people that they are with you. And if this vision can be relevant, it's not like a target, it's something which you can constantly strive for. Because if I say that I want to be a benchmark for value creation and corporate citizenship, there's no destination because the world around me is also improving constantly, right? So it's a journey of excellence that you will pursue. So I will not give it more importance than required.
Please, sir.
So my name is Vivek Anandan. My question to you is, every organization, small or big, their main purpose is to generate revenue and be profitable. How important is higher purpose to an organization in the current context for survival? I think I was just listening to you about the origin of Tata Steel and the purpose the company had. I think we all strongly feel that companies with the higher purpose are the ones who are going to survive. Others may not be able to survive. So your views from that level, sir.
So, our experience has been that you do need a higher purpose to be relevant and survive for longer than most, right? And there are not too many companies in the world who've been around for 117 years or whatever, right? But having said that, it's about taking care of all the stakeholders. And one of the stakeholders is a shareholder. Tata Steel has 5 million shareholders. So I cannot say that I don't care for profit because they put their money in Tata Steel, right? But at the same time, because most of these shareholders know what Tata Steel stands for, they don't grudge us the fact that we spend more than 2% of profit on CSR. That gives us a social license to operate because we operate in some of the poorest parts of the country. Okay, so the people who invest in Tata Steel also see it from that point of view, right? So I think it's that balance. There were obviously, as you know, in the 70s and 80s, a lot of thinking that the corporate job is to make profits and the shareholders will decide what to do with it, right? But today's world, day and age, if you look at the younger demographic, they look at organizations who have a purpose, right? They're asking for that. I mean, if you look at today on sustainability or environmental issues, it's a younger demographic who's pushing corporates to behave. So I think, finding that balance between multiple stakeholders, it could be the employees, could be the suppliers, your customers, your shareholders, the communities that you impact, and finding that balance is never easy, but you need to find that balance to really be relevant and survive for a long period of time, because there will be pressures at different points in time, from different stakeholders who feel that they've got an unfair deal compared to the others.
Good evening, sir. This is Shivkumar Ballan. I'm a brand consultant. First of all, as Tata Group is the most admired company in India. So my question to you is that, as you were speaking about managerial excellence, most of the organization, they focus on the tangible aspects. Like they look at their skill level, is from which institution, is it from the IITs or IIMs, the knowledge, experience, performance, how we can bring results to the table, and process implementation. But very seldom, or in very few companies, they focus on the intangible aspects like emotional intelligence, adaptability to that particular culture, vision, and more importantly, building of trust within the team members. And I feel that you, being in India as the most admired company, you can give me a thought, like an insight, like when you build an organization, what aspects you look into the tangible and in terms of a ratio or something like that to build a good company. Thank you.
That's why I said what I did, right? I said that when you look at managerial excellence, you also need to look at the personal value system of the person, whether it's congruent. I'm not judging what is right or wrong. I'm saying, is it congruent with the ethos of the organization, right? That is, to me, important. It is important to see what is a professional value system. How does that person behave in a professional environment, right? So these are important ingredients. Like you said, when you recruit, obviously you have limited data points, right? Then you look at which college did you pass out from, what was your score or whatever. But 5 years, 10 years from joining, I don't think that is, nobody is looking at your CGPA to decide whether you'll get promoted, right? You are looking at how did you deal with different situations, with different people, different challenges. And that's what adds to you. Maybe the fact that you studied in an elite school or something may help. But all of us know at some point in time, it's more relevant what you do, right? And so that's where you get a lot more data points on the points that you said. What is the EQ of that person? How does that person, in today's environment, how does that person handle stress? How does that person handle difficult stakeholders? How does that person get work done by people who don't report to them? How do you deal with, difficult situations? What are the judgments that that person exercises? All this will not be visible from a CGPA score or the college you went to, right? So that's why these are all, to my mind, passports, gets you through the door. But after that, it's what you do inside the room which matters.
Thank you. I think we have time for one last question. Please go ahead.
My name is Vijayan. Have you identified any special ore that you are going to exploit in the near future for India, like rare earths or anything? Create any ores, like rare earths or anything special that Tata Steel wants to go into? And you have any idea for making Jamshedpurs in Tamil Nadu or any other this thing?
So, the first part was you're asking if there are any new areas we are looking at. Is that what you were asking? Yeah. New minerals. So I'll link your first and second part of the question together. Many years back, 20 years back or 25 years back, Tata Steel thought it should get into titanium and said we should come to Tamil Nadu because the rutile sands which are required was here. We even started buying land. I'm not remembering where it was. It was closer. Yeah, I think it was Thoothukudi. Yeah. So we did, but for different reasons, it didn't work out. So what we are doing today, so steel is a capital intensive metal, right? And we are into mining and steel. We are also saying, can we get into knowledge intensive materials? Okay, so we are getting into fiber reinforced polymers. We have a graphene business going. We are getting into ceramics because we know material science. So a lot of medical ceramics is actually imported into India. So we're looking at knowledge intensive materials where our knowledge, our understanding, our IP from that point of view can be monetized more than having to spend thousands of crores to build a steel plant. So we will do that, but this is a parallel revenue stream that we are working on.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Mr. Narendran. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for not only addressing us on so very vital points of managerial excellence, but also taking all those questions very patiently. Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Mr. Mahalingam, President MMA, to present a memento to the dignitaries on the dais, please. Mr. Mahalingam will be presenting a memento to Mr. TV Narendran. Thank you so much, Mr. Narendran, for honoring us with your presence. You talked about the personal excellence journey. You talked about the difference between personal excellence and professional integrity. And you also said that excellence is not a destination, but it's a journey. Thank you so much for all those nice words of advice for all of us here. May I now request Mr. Mahalingam to present a memento to Mr. Josh Foulger. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Josh, for redefining that SWOT for all of us, putting threats ahead of opportunities. Thank you so much. May I also request Mr. Mahalingam to present. There are others as well, sir. Ms. Simran Dhingra. Thank you, Simran, for coming all the way from New Delhi, and Mr. Kadir. Thank you, Mr. Kadir, for once again doing what you have done to us for this time. Managerial Excellence Award. Thanks to you and thanks to Deloitte. Now may I also request the dignitaries on the dais to present a memento to the jury members who have been assessing this award. May I request Mr. Srinivasan K. Swami, Chairman of the committee, to come and receive an award, please. Mr. Lakshminarayan Dure Swami. Dr. Lalita Balakrishnan, please come up. Is Ms. Aarti here somewhere? No. Okay. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lakshmi Narayan Duraswamy, Managing Director, Sundaram Home Finance Limited. He's also been one of the jury members this year. Please come. And Dr. Lalita Balakrishnan, former principal, MOP Vaishnav College for Women. Ma'am, please. We also had Ms. Aarti Lakshmi Narayan, who's not been able to make it today. But big round of applause to all the jury members. They have put in a lot of hard work in finalizing the awards and the awardees. Now I request Group Captain Vijay Kumar to honor a few more individuals who have been immensely contributed to MMA's journey of success.
I think I call the rep from Sinduri. They have been doing a fantastic job day after day after. They give some lovely food to all the members. I know members come really because the food is outstanding. This is a Sinduri team. They deserve a big round of applause because what day and night make sure they get a good, sumptuous, tasty. And I can tell you still today we never got any complaint that somebody's stomach upset. Maybe their own reason could be possible, not because of the food.
The chefs who have prepared the special dinner for you all this evening as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting to the last part of this occasion today. A very formal thing. Vote of thanks. Mr. V. Shankar is the Senior Vice President MMA. He is also the founder CAMS and Director Access Investments Private Limited. A graduate of IIT Madras and alumnus of IIM Kolkata. He founded CAMS in 1988, which revolutionized the Indian mutual fund industry. May I now request Mr. Shankar to deliver the vote of thanks, please.
Thank you, Venkat. Padmaja, where are you? She's left, okay. When I hear an invocation, I know it's going to be a great event after that. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Josh and Narendran, you killed it, you guys. And Josh, for telling us to flip the SWOT around. I think that's one singular thing which we all took away from you. Thank you for that. And Narendran, you deconstructed the concept of managerial excellence so beautifully. Thank you for that. Cass, Dr. Adrian Hack for his video message. And Simran, thank you so much for coming all the way from Delhi. Truly appreciate it. Awardees for this evening, TVS Motor Company, Bimetal Bearings, Cifi, and Sairam Engineering. Thank you so much for participating. And most of all, thank you for being what you are. Excellent institutions in your respective fields. Our sponsors, TCS and Danfoss. Deloitte, Kadir, thank you once again. Hindu Business Line, our media partners. Members of media who are here. All the past presidents of MMA, my fellow committee members. Mali, for being a truly outstanding president. I must tell you, he lives and breathes MMA. The commitment that he has brought to this institution in the last 1 year has to be seen to be believed. It's an honor to be on the committee with you, Malik. And as always, the secretariat. However many times we praise you, Vijay and Venkat and everybody else, it is never enough. You are the rock stars, you are the backbone of this institution. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Shankar. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the Managerial Excellence Award function this evening. Thanks to all the dignitaries on the dais. Let's thank them with once again a big round of applause. We will commence the business session of the MMA 68th Annual General Meeting in a short while from now. The members are requested to stay on. Very good. Oh, you put it
Members, please stay back for the AGM. We are commencing AGM in a minute more. Members, please stay back. Guest, if you wish, you can also stay back. Members, please stay back. We'll start the AGM in a minute. And also the others who wish to attend the AGM, there's no issue. Please. Kindly settle down.